Good evening, Lion fans, and welcome inside of Lion Stadium for tonight's 1-4A playoff action between your Gravette Lions and the Heber Springs Panthers. It's football Friday night. It's playoff Friday night. And I'm Sheldon McKenzie, and I'm alongside John Kaiser here. John, what was the atmosphere like around school today, knowing that there's a home playoff game coming to Lion Stadium?
You know, there's good atmosphere today, and it wasn't like just a normal home game today. It was like everyone knew what's at stake today, and that Gravette could move on and get to the second round for the second time in as many years.
Yeah, certainly an exciting time for Lion fans and players alike. I remember being on the staff here the last 2 years, getting ready for the playoffs, and 2 years ago we were prepping for Joe T. Robinson going down to Little Rock in the first round, and knowing that our back was up against it, it was going to be a tough game. And then, last year against Pocahontas, we knew that was going to be a challenge as well, but it was just a little bit different feel. We had a different feel around the team. We kind of felt a little bit better about things, about where we were at, and I'm sure with the Lions being on a little bit of a roll ever since that loss to Pea Ridge, big win over Shiloh Christian during that time, big win last week over arch rival Gentry, not letting that Shiloh Christian bug come back and get them, I'm sure. That's big, and I'm sure they've got a lot of confidence going into tonight. Well, we're going to preview this game just a little bit. We'll talk about Heber Springs first, and they are coached by Darren Gowan as their head coach. Heber Springs does a little bit differently than Gravette does. They have an average about 157 yards passing per game. Compared that to Gravette's 77. But you see the real difference in Heber Springs' 124 yards rushing per game compared to that to Gravette's 290. Gravette and Austin O'Brien being the workhorse in that, but certainly Tajay White has really picked up some slack on the ground too, and Gravette's really getting it done on the ground. So we'll pay attention to that, see how things go, maybe see if Heber Springs sticks to their passing attack. I'm sure Gravette will stick to that running attack. Some action from 1-4A playoff games, other playoff games. We'll keep you updated on that one, on those as they go on. The 1 seed from the conference, Pea Ridge, is at home tonight against the 5 seed from the 4-4A, the Waldron Bulldogs. Pea Ridge should have no problem in that one, I don't think. John, any argument about that?
No, and if you listen to Lionel Letterman, before last season, Waldron had lost 43 games in a row, and they're finally back to the playoffs. I didn't see how many years, but they're finally back to the playoffs, and it's great. It's great that they're back to the playoffs, but I don't think they have what it takes to go out there and beat Pea Ridge. But, as a Gravette fan, I hope it happens.
Yeah, right, right. Well, it's funny you say that because, you kind of do, but at the same time, this is the playoffs. You want your conference brethren to do well because it makes you look pretty good too. But moving on, Prairie Grove is at home tonight, the 2 seed from the conference. They'll play the 4 seed from the 4-4A and the Pottsville Apaches. Pottsville's historically a pretty good team. They haven't been as strong this year. But I don't think Prairie Grove will have any problem in that one. I'm thinking Prairie Grove pretty easily in that one. I think they'll move on to the second round. Shiloh Christian is at Stuttgart. Now, Shiloh Christian got sent to the 4 seed with that loss to Gravette last week, or 2 weeks ago, rather. They go to Stuttgart, the winner of the 2-4A. That might be the most competitive game in the state this week.
And in the 4A, that is the Hootens game of the week.
Sure is.
It is Stuttgart and Shiloh, and that's could be one of the best games in the entire state playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think they've got Stuttgart picked to finish win that game by 2, I believe. It was either 1 or 2, I can't remember. Gentry, they got a pretty tough draw. They're against Batesville Southside, the winner of the 3-4A, I believe. If I believe that's what the conference is that they're in. They're the winner of the 3-4A. Gentry goes to Batesville Southside. Batesville Southside hosting their first ever home playoff game this week. I'm sure the crowd will be amped up for that one. They've got a good offense. If they could get the defense to kind of catch up with it, who knows? They might be able to pull an upset down there. You just never know what will happen down there. And Batesville Southside being the first ever home game, they might be a little bit too amped up. You just don't know. One game we'll be keeping a particular eye on is that Malvern at Gosnell game, because if Gravette wins tonight, they'll move on to the second round, and they'll play the winner of that game. And if Malvern happens to upset Gosnell Malvern will have to come here to Gravette next week. First things first, though, Lions have to take care of business tonight.
And talking about that Gosnell-Malvern game, actually Hootens is favoring Malvern right now by 1 point.
Yeah.
1 point favorite.
Yeah. And Gosnell's actually they're the 1 seed from the 3-4A. Batesville Southside is from the 2-4A. Same conference as Heber Springs here. Gosnell, same conference as Pocahontas. That's a conference that has not fared well in the playoffs the past few years. and Malvern being from the 7-4A, that's a historically powerful conference with teams like Nashville,
Yep.
Arkadelphia, Joe T. Robinson. That's a tough conference. Tell you, a tough conference. Last few years, the 1-4A has been a really tough conference. Fared really well in the playoffs. Last year sent 3 teams to the semifinals. Just unbelievable the success they've had. We'll see if this year holds true to the last few years. Well, captains are at midfield. We've got coin toss. They're 2.5 minutes away from game time here.
And not only did they send 3 teams, but like the year before, they have 2 straight years where a team from the 4A1 went to the state championship game. I mean, you can't just say it's a bad conference. Last 2 years, probably a little bit farther than that, the 4A1 has been absolutely dominant in the playoffs. They really have been. Prairie Grove, Pierce, Shiloh, mainly, but just last year, Gravette showed what they could do in the playoffs, upsetting a 2 seed from the 4A3. Pocahontas team coming in at 8-2. Pocahontas was, I think, Hootens last year had them by 10 points, I believe, and Gravette came in and went in and upset them. So now this year, there's arguably all four of the top 4 teams in the 4A1 could arguably go to the quarterfinals right now. I mean, it's all up for grabs.
Yeah, certainly can. It fares well for Gravette. You know, you win tonight, Malvern pulls off an upset against Gosnell, you got another home game. So it's like Gravette's won the toss. They've deferred to the second half, so Heber Springs will be getting the ball to start this one, unless they screwed that up, which it's happened before, but not very often. One time in particular that comes to mind was Arkansas against Texas back in 2003. I believe Arkansas deferred the coin toss, and Texas said they'll kick, so Arkansas got it twice. But we won't see that tonight. So we got a minute and a half before this game starts. Captains are going to run off the field and get ready to run onto the field. Heber Springs comes in tonight 7-3. They are triggered by a sophomore. Sophomore quarterback Adam Martin has been their starter all year long. He has thrown 12 touchdown passes this year. He's also thrown 12 interceptions. He's made some sophomore mistakes. We'll see if the playoff atmosphere may magnitude that a little bit. He's either
Game. Think about last year to Gravette.
that's what I. It just seemed to go. Childress kick it off. Grab it from a little bit of a bunch set. Childress will sky this one high and short. It's going to bounce at about the 20, and it gets away from the Heber Springs receiver. He's going to pick it up inside the 10, breaks one tackle, then now breaks down the sideline. He'll get back out across. So I can't see Heber Springs' numbers all that well from our perch up here in the press box.
All right, I'll help you out. So Gravette comes back on defense. Last 2 games have had an outstanding defensive game. I mean, Shiloh Christian holding them to 0 points offensively going through 3 quarters, and then I think a pretty good Gentry offense. Only I believe 3 points going into the second half. So here we go.
Driving back to pass on the first round play action. He's got a man open in the flats, and he hits him. It's complete. He brought down at about the 26-yard line. A gain of 7. That was number 9, Chris Hart, on the catch. I'll tell you, I was looking at some of the stats, and number 13 for Heber Springs, the running back, his name fittingly is Blaze Nelson. He's their leading rusher on the year. I can't remember exactly. I didn't write this down. I believe he only had about 400 yards of rushing total. So they are definitely a pass-first team. We see that right there, first play. Gained 7 yards on the first play. Martin in the shotgun again. Quick play action. It's batted down at the line of scrimmage. Gunnar Berger got his hand up there and knocked that one down.
And already a third down early.
Yep. It'll be 3rd and 3. This is a big first down. Being on the staff with Coach Charleston the last 2 years, and you know this, it's important anytime you want to get off to a quick start. Coach Charleston always talks about 3 and outs at the beginning, and get the ball back and put points on the board early.
People talk about how big momentum is football, but high school football, it is absolutely everything, in my opinion.
Well, especially Heber Springs, that's a long trip up here, so. They're going to run the speed option. Martin slides away from one tackler, and he's going to get the first down across the 30. He'll be brought down at the 31. Just a little speed option to the left. Adam Martin juked one defender.
And to talk about fast starts, you remember last year in the first round, that's exactly what Gravette did to win that game. They came off the bus, they were fired up, and they came out and scored 2 early touchdowns, and it ended up being enough at the end to propel them over Pocahontas. So we'll see if they can do that tonight. So first drive, 3 plays, and they pick up a first down.
They're in a shotgun set again. Basic shotgun set, 2 receivers to each side. Martin's back to pass. He's going to get pressured, and he's going to get sacked. Dropped. Spencer got through the line and made that sack.
Something I saw on the offensive line all week on film was this offensive line it's manhandled pretty easily. I'm not trying to take shots at the offensive line here at Heber Springs, but every film I saw is just, they're letting guys through easily. So Gravette's defensive line should have a good night tonight. I don't believe they face the defensive line as fierce as this Gravette one with Bailey Slade, Colton Grimes, Seth Spencer, and Dakota Lemons.
Shotgun to Martin. He'll hand this one off up the middle. I believe that was Nelson. He fumbles the ball, and I believe Gravette's got it. Gravette's got the ball inside the 20-yard line. It's scooped up at the 19. It was Seth Spencer. What a 2 plays in a row for Seth Spencer. Man, a quarterback sack, and then a recovered fumble. Seth Spencer living the dream on defense on those last 2 plays.
You talk about quick starts. This is one for you.
Absolutely.
They picked up the first down to start it off, but Gravette came right back. 2 straight big plays on defense. Gets the offense, the ball inside the 20-yard line, and here they go, trying to get on the scoreboard.
Gravette comes out with trips to the right. Tajay White in a pistol set. O'Brien behind him. They'll send Grimes in motion. And we're going to have a flag. I believe we're going to get a false start on Gravette.
And that's been a common mistake for Gravette. It seemed like all year long it's kind of followed them a little bit. False starts, holdings, penalties to kind of move their offense back a little bit. Kind of stunt their drives a little bit. But hopefully that's the only one of the game. Knock on wood.
We don't have a lot of wood up here. I think
we do not.
You'll have to. Well, there's a little one right there. You go. Found some right underneath, a little 2x4 right underneath our window here. Hand off to O'Brien. O'Brien's got a little bit of a hole. He'll fall forward. He'll pick up about 3 yards on the 5 they just lost. So it'll bring up 2nd and 12.
You talked about earlier, the run game for Gravette is so big, and the yards per game for them. And they don't want to go to the passing game much. They want to stick to Austin O'Brien and Tajay White. That's their bread and butter. That's what they want to do all game long. They don't want to be forced to pass.
White will keep this on a little read play. He'll get down inside the 20, back to the original line of scrimmage, maybe a yard more, and Heber Springs will be there to stick him. Well, if there's one good thing about that fumble now, and I know we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves because it's still 3rd down, but that fumble almost automatically puts you in Chris Childress' field goal range, and that's a great thing. That's a good weapon to have. We're going to try to get this first down right here, though. 3rd and 9.
And we might see that passing game early.
Well, that's one thing you talked about. You want that running game, a penalty to start off will put you behind the chains. And when you're a running football team, you can't have those penalties. And now we've got another one.
I've said it all year.
Second straight false start.
When you run like this, you can't be put behind the chains, at least not very often. It's just not how your offense works. But still, even back here around the 24-yard line, that should be Chris Childress' range, but I'm sure they would like to put it in the end zone instead.
Yeah, 3rd and 14. We'll see what Coach Harrelson wants to do, if he just wants to hand it off to O'Brien, see what he can pick up, or if he wants to let White throw it. Looks like White will throw it. It's a little screen pass. It's going to be caught by Mormon. Mormon almost breaks the tackle, slips down to about the 16-yard line. 15-yard line, they'll spot it at. A good gain of about 9 yards.
We'll put Gravette in good field goal range here for Chris Childress.
Yeah, Childress will come on to kick this field goal from the left hash. He'll put it down at the 22-yard line. It'll be a 32-yard field goal for Childress. if this comes down to field goals, looking at it, Heber Springs also has a very good field goal kicker this year. 8 of 10 on the season. He has a long of 48. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up, and I believe he missed it wide right.
And he did. And a missed kick for Chris Childress, something we don't see very often here. But it is what it is, and Gravette's defense got to go out there and make some more plays. So right off the bat, we see 2 straight defensive possessions owned by both teams. Heber Springs showed how good their defense can be, and so did Gravette. But Gravette obviously had a couple penalties to put them back. But Heber Springs, when I watch film, that's what I noticed the most, was their good, fast to the ball, aggressive defense. And I believe it could be a low-scoring game tonight.
Well, and Gravette's been kind of a slow-starting team this year, so on offense, and they've really brought it on in the second half. But tight end to the right, trips to the left. Martin will pop up. He'll throw a screen pass, and it's dropped.
You know, even if he would have caught that, which I'm glad he did, I saw Chris Childress out there and Gunnar Berger. I believe he wouldn't have gotten much, but no yards is better than anything.
Childress is a quick player. He reads the offense well. He comes up. He flies up to the football. He's got a good football mind.
Yes.
I joked around with him last year out on the practice field that if I could just get him to be about a half second faster, which is saying a lot, but if I could get him to be about a half second faster, he could be a D1 safety. Snap back. They're going to hand it off to Nelson. He's got a hole on the left side, and he'll squeeze up to the 30. He'll have, I believe, enough for first down yardage. They'll mark him just across the 30, and that's where he needed to get. It will be a first down for Heber Springs and plays Nelson.
So right off, Heber, 2 first downs on 2 possessions, and obviously the last one turned into a fumble. Hopefully they can get something like that right now, but so far offensively, Heber has not looked bad.
Martin gets snapped. He'll hand it off to Nelson again on the left side. He's got some blockers and breaks a few tackles, gets across the 40, and he'll be brought down at the 41. That's an 11-yard gain by Nelson, and that's enough for Heber Springs' first down.
We talked about how quick Chris Childress is to recognize the play. He did. He got down there, and unfortunately he missed the tackle. But look for Chris to make plays like that all game and not miss those tackles. Make tackles for losses, break up passes. That's just what he does. He's such a smart football mind. He knows what they're doing before they even do it.
Panthers come out again. Another handoff to Nelson, and this time he'll be met at the line of scrimmage by a host of Lions. He'll be brought down. They're going to say he gained 2 yards still. 2.5 yards almost. Well, they're going to keep going to Nelson, I suspect, until Gravette proves that they can stop it. That's kind of been Gravette's MO this year. Go to O'Brien until you prove that you can stop it. Not a lot of teams have been able to this year. So it'll bring second down and a long 7. He gained about 2.5. Just on the other side of the 45-yard line, their own 45. And they need to get all the way to the 48 in Gravette territory. So it's second and 7.5.
Blaze Nelson at wide receiver.
Replay, they'll keep it to Martin. He'll break 1 tackle. He'll get outside, and there's a hold. Yeah, Brandon Ballard was held pretty clearly there by, I believe it was Dylan Spivey, the outside receiver there on the edge for Heber Springs. It's going to negate a nice run, about a 10-yard run by Martin. And he'll take it all the way back, and it'll be second and 10. There's actually 2 flags now, 1 back at the Heber Springs line of scrimmage, and they'll take it from there. So they got a holding on the line and then a holding on the edge as well. So it takes it all the way back to the 31, and it'll be second down and a lot. Second down at about 21.
Yeah, that's a big break for this Gravette defense, and gives them a little bit of a cushion to play what they want to on defense. And being second down helps too. I would say watch for a pass here.
He will pass it. A little bubble pass out there on the up. Childress comes up, can't make the tackle. And he's going to break a few tackles, and he's running, breaks another tackle downfield. And on second and 21, Heber Springs goes for 69 yards and a touchdown on a little pop pass out to the outside. Well, they swung it out there to the wide side of the field. He made a few guys miss, and it was off to the races.
And, that's something Gravette's kind of been eliminating later in the season. They've been getting those first hits and bringing them down. And right there, that didn't happen. Got to fix that if they want to be able to win this ball game.
Extra point is up and good. Well, I can tell you, I was bragging on their kicker. Everything looked like it was good. That extra point did not look very strong. But it goes through, and it counts all the same. Heber Springs is off to a 7-0 lead with 6 minutes, 17 seconds to play in the first quarter.
So, down by 7 points. Now it's the Gravette offense time to come out here and show that they can go right back at them. They don't want to get down too much early in this football game. They're going to go down there, talk about what they messed up on, forget about it, and go back out. If you want to talk about explosive offense, I think Gravette at any time in this ball game can really explode it for them. Austin O'Brien, one big carry, can really explode this offense and to show what they can do. The thing with Tajay White and Austin O'Brien, they're such a dynamic duo in the pass or in the run game that you really don't know who's going to get the ball, and it puts a toll on the defenses. And now Austin O'Brien will be returning kicks. That's something we haven't seen since, I believe, Pete Ridge.
One early score to report. Prairie Grove already up on Pottsville 14-0 in the first quarter there. So. Kick. O'Brien takes it at the 2, and he will bring it up. He's across 15, 20, finds a little bit of a seam, gets across the 25, and will be brought down to 27. So a nice 26-yard return by O'Brien. The Lions will come out. They'll take over from there. 6:09 to play. First quarter. The Lions will come out for their second possession on offense.
And you talked about it. Gravette is a slow team. You saw earlier in the season, week 1, they were down 13-0 early. No, was it 13? I think it was, believe, 13-0 early to Ozark, and they came back, ended up pulling into the lead, ended up losing. But obviously, Gravette is got a lot of time left, and offense got to come out here and put some points on the board.
I formation. First time we've seen that tonight from the Lions. They'll send a shift. Logan Rachel will go over to the left side. Sweep out to O'Brien to the tight end side. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. He cuts upfield, and he gets across the 30, and he'll be pushed out of bounds at about the 32-yard line.
That's been a very successful play for the Lions. They really didn't start doing that until about the Boonville or J game. Really, the J games when they really started and putting that into the offense, and it's worked really well. So not surprised that they go to that a lot tonight.
It's 2nd down and 5 now. Pistol formation, another handoff to O'Brien. He'll bounce it out to the right side, and he's got a lot of room. He got the first down across 40, breaks a tackle, and he steps out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Well, that's a gain of about 13 for O'Brien as he pops it up. I think that play was designed to go to the inside, and O'Brien just saw the hole to the outside and cut it out there and picked up, got a big gain, moved it upfield for a line first down, and now Gravette's going to go up-tempo a little bit here on Heber Springs as they're lined up already. Heber Springs still moving around. Snap to White. Play O'Brien again to the left side, and this time nowhere to go as that tackle was made by Jacob Bremen for Heber Springs. A loss of 1, maybe 2 on play. It'll be about 2nd and 12.
The offensive line always seems to get on a slow start as well. They play a little bit slow at the start, and then the second half they just start pushing their guys back, and it's too much. But you can see, I think you can see a size difference from this offensive line. And Brady Mormon wide open.
Mormon wide open in the flats. Quick hitter. He'll get across midfield and be taken down about the 48-yard line, a gain of about 10. So you go from second and 12 to 3rd and 3.
And here comes the monster set for Gravette. The monster set would be Teichman and Bailey Soule coming in to play fullback. Both of them together.
Yep, Kenton Teichman and Bailey Soule. It's kind of like a power I formation almost, just out of a pistol set. They'll give it to O'Brien. He'll follow those big guys, and he'll get the first down. And he fumbled the football. Well, that is not something that O'Brien has done much of this year, and he just did it right there. And I believe he had first down yards too. It was going to be at least very close, but he fumbles it. Heber Springs picks it up, falls on it rather. They'll take over from their own 47-yard line. Gravette defense will be back on the field. 4:47 to play.
And right away, Gravette's off to a really slow start, and so not something you want to do in the playoffs for sure. And they look to make sure Heber Springs doesn't capitalize off of that.
Heber's going to come out fired up. I mean, they just got a big play just a minute ago, you know, and they're going to be expecting to be able to score like that all night. That's what an early score will do for you. Shotgun back Martin. He's looking to pass. He's looking deep. He's under pressure, wiggles away from it. He'll eventually be brought down. It looks like he got back to the line of scrimmage. Well, that's one thing, you know, you mentioned it earlier about Heber Springs' offensive line and not necessarily seeing a defensive line this physical maybe in Gravette. And I've noticed the success they've had passing the ball, quick passes. The 2 times they've tried to drop back to pass, he's been sacked once and then just there pressured to no gain. So
yeah, it's been quick passes, quick screen passes, quick pop passes. So they got to make sure they're out there for those. And Blaze Nelson for the carry
hand off
again.
to Nelson. He's got a big hole on the left side. He gets across midfield. It's a gain of about 6. So he'll be marked down at the 47-yard line.
I am a little surprised to see the success of their run game tonight. I believe Gravette's defenses has seen much better run games, but it is a different team, different style, so we'll see how it goes.
Martin in the shotgun as he has been all night. They've got a tight end to the right. Hand off to Nelson. They'll go to the right. They have the play bottled up, but he bounces to the outside, and he's going to be brought down, I believe, just short. Well, maybe not. This referee on the far end here is marking it right on the 43-yard line, and that's where they needed to get, was the 43. They'll bring across the chains for a measurement on this.
To me, at the first sight, it looked like they was at least a yard short, but they have a better vantage view than we do up here. We have the players and sidelines to look at, but from here it looked at least a yard short.
Yeah, I thought he was short by at least, but was certainly closer than what it is now. But like you said, referee does have a clear advantage than we do, and we'll see what happens here. I mean, short here. I have to think that Heber Springs is going to go for it. You're on the road. You've already got a lead. You just came up with a big stop, and
I think it will be short.
Yeah, he's going to be short by, I can't see. I believe Coach Children standing right in my way where I can't see, but
maybe about an inch.
Yeah, not by much. I'll be able to see once they walk it back out there, and I'm sure Heber Springs will probably attempt to get Gravette to jump first. Well, there was a big play like this 2 weeks ago against Shiloh Christian. 4th and 1, maybe less than 1. Shiloh Christian chose to go for it. Gravette came up with a big stop, and it was pretty much lights out from there. That was what Gravette needed to get going. It was 7-0 Shiloh Christian at that point, and then within a matter of 3 possessions, it was 24-7 Gravette.
Yes, and that's what I hope would happen right now.
Heber Springs will run up to the line of scrimmage. They'll go under center for the first time all night, and that's going to almost has to be a quarterback sneak. They'll bring everybody in. Yeah, they're just going to snap it, push ahead, and well, they got not much of a push, but he got enough for a first down.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he didn't get much, but he didn't need much.
Just enough for the first down, and that's going to put Heber Springs in Gravette territory.
He needed an inch. He got 2. So, didn't need much, picked it up. He really just needed to get just across that 42-yard line, and that's exactly where the ball is at.
Yep, and they knew where he was going, but an inch away is very hard to stop.
Yeah, that's a hard play to stop, period, even a yard on that one. So, shotgun formation again. It's a read play, and Martin pulls this one, and he's got nowhere to go as he's taken down in the backfield. Loss of 1. I believe it was Kenton Teichman got in there to make that tackle.
That's what we want to see from Gravette's defensive line or linebackers all night, getting in through those holes just like that. He had nowhere to go. That's something I expect him to do all night, and haven't done so.
Martin to pass again. He's got a man open in the flats. It's caught. He won't break away from the tackle this time, but it's a gain of about 6.
Mason Dagley on the tackle.
Complete for Finney. Tackle made by Dagley and Ballard. It's third down.
Dagley got out there to make the tackle. Quick outs have been there for Heber Springs so far. We saw Gravette run a quick out that was there as well. So
he talked about just a little bit ago how they're doing those quick passes so they don't get pressure, and that's what that was right there. And I expect this to be a pass as well.
Back, it's 3rd down and 4 here.
Brennan goes in motion.
Pass. They're going to give it to Nelson, and he's got the first down. And oh, my goodness, breaks a tackle. And he's down the sideline, and he will score. No flags on the field. Heber Springs has scored 2 touchdowns here in the first quarter. One on a 2nd and 21, and one on a 3rd down and 5.
And both off of missed tackles.
Yep.
So, Gravette down 13 points early. And they're going to try to come back and score and try to get back in the game.
Julian Cameron's the kicker for Heber Springs. He puts that one up and through, and it's 14-0. 1 minute, 40 seconds to play first quarter.
Well, not the score I expect this early, but a lot of time left.
Oh, sure, yeah. there's still almost a whole football game to play here, so anything can happen within the next 3 quarters and change of football. You know, if you watch the first half of the Shiloh Christian game, even though the score was only 7-0 Shiloh at halftime, I mean, you had to think, you know, you had to think, well, this is going to be another one of those games. Shiloh's going to win. And, you know, Gravette really turned it on in the second half. But they need to get something on this drive. So you really need to. They don't necessarily have to come away with points, but you need first downs. You need and the key, you talked about momentum early in this game. Gravette picked up a fumble inside the 20-yard line, got 2 penalties, couldn't score, missed a field goal. Heber Springs comes back and scores off of that. That's a big momentum shift for them. They stop, they get a score later. And then a fumble by Gravette. They pick it up. They score a few plays later, and it's 14-0.
You know, something great right now for Gravette would be a nice kickoff return from Austin O'Brien. At any time, Austin O'Brien can make a play. So, with the ball in his hands, I feel pretty confident.
Low line drive kick. O'Brien catches it on the run at the 10. He's across the 20. He's got a big hole across the 30. Runs over a man and gets through the 35. Up to the 37-yard line is where they'll spot it.
Gravette offense comes out for the 3rd time, trying to put some points on the board for the first time in this game. 2 drives ended inside the Heber Springs, inside of the Heber Springs 50-yard line. One started with the fumble inside the 20, couldn't convert. But now Gravette comes out here to try to tighten this game up.
Handoff to O'Brien. He slips by 1 tackle. He gets across the 40. And he'll be brought down at the 41. Gain of 4 yards. Well, we owe you some apologies, folks. We didn't have our sponsor sheet up here whenever we got here, so I've been waiting on that to get here. So I'm going to throw some quick plugs out there real quick. Just so you know that tonight's game is brought to you by Lion Letterman and GHSTV. These broadcasts aren't possible without our sponsors. We'll get to those in just a second right after this play. As White will take it, he'll fake it to O'Brien. He's got a hole across midfield. And he'll be taken down at the 49-yard line. So gain of about 9-10 yards gives Gravette a first down and into Heber territory. But those sponsors real quickly, we'll run down them. Arvest Bank and Gravette, Teasley Drug, H&K Heating and Air, Kim Durham Photography, Builtwell Construction, the Booster Club at Gravette High School, Bank of Gravette, Sophie's Boutique. And now another handoff to O'Brien. He cuts it back across the middle, and he's got space. He'll be tripped up and brought down at the 33-yard line. As he picks up about 15 yards on that one. James Scantlin, Realtor, Grand Savings Bank, Riley's Boutiques, Greenheart Realty, Patton Electric, Hart and Soule Builders, Tough Coat, and Alumni Storage. Thank you, all those sponsors. We'll get more in there as we go, as O'Brien pulls it again, and he'll get
White
down. I'm sorry, I apologize. White.
He will pick up about 5 or 6 yards. And this is the type of drive Gravette wants, where they're picking up at least 5 or 6 yards on the first pop run, every first down, or more than that. This is what Gravette wants to get into. This is the offense Gravette wants to be into. This is what Heber Springs doesn't want to start happening.
I formation for Gravette, sweep out to O'Brien. He'll cut it back, runs into a wall, spins away, still on his feet and fighting. He gets down inside the 25. He'll be marked down, looks like right at the chain. It'll be either a 3rd down and short or a first down. We'll see what they want to do.
And it looks like that's the line here. And it looks like, and that will be the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, that takes us to the end of the first quarter. It'll be 3rd and short. Gravette driving down 14-0. Tonight's game is brought to you by Teasley Drug. Teasley Drug has been serving the pharmaceutical needs of the Gravette area for over 30 years, since Ron Teasley began the business in 1984. Now under the direction of Ron's daughter Lindsay and her husband Ryan, Teasley Drug continues to provide their customers with professional service and genuine care. Teasley Drug's goal is to use the core principles established by Ron and his wife Linda to always be your family-owned and community-oriented pharmacy. Teasley Drug's passion is to maximize your patient experience through a superior level of care and to provide quality products at a competitive price. Call Teasley Drug at 787-5966 or stop by and see them at 205 Atlanta Street in Gravette. Well, John, like we talked about, quick start for Heber Springs, slow start for Gravette, kind of like they have been, but got a nice drive going right here, big third down right here.
And I tell you what, we like to see just drives going, but I think they have to put one in the end zone. I don't think a field goal will give any momentum back to Gravette. I think there's puts points on the board. However, a touchdown here could give a little bit of momentum back to Gravette and could give Gravette a new life here. So I believe this drive's got to finish in the end zone. And you can see gradually through the drives, the offensive line has slowly started to really start pushing that defensive line back. They start showing their physical presence. And here's probably another quarterback sneak here. And it will be, and that's a big push. They needed about half an inch, and they got about 3 yards.
Yeah, White just gets under center and gets a first down. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 21. Some scores from around the conference. Pea Ridge is up on Waldron in the first quarter still, 26-0. No surprise there. Prairie Grove is beating Pottsville 14-7. Shiloh Christian Stuttgart, no score to report from that one, still 0-0. Batesville Southside is up on Gentry right now, 21-0 in the first quarter.
A little quick
sweep
pass
out to
Logan
Rachel, a little jet sweep, counts as a pass, and Rachel keeps running to the outside. And looks like that play was going for nothing. He just kept stretching it out and picked up about 4 or 5 yards. Nice run by Rachel.
They say never go east and west, but right there, east and west is what got him yards.
Yep, sure. Yeah. He cuts that one up too soon. He's probably not gaining anything or even losing some yards. So
good play there by Rachel, making something out of what looked like nothing. And Gravette about 2nd and 6 at the 15-yard line.
Hand off to O'Brien, straight up the middle. He's got a push. He breaks off a tackle. Still going, and he gets down at the 5-yard line. Boy, Austin O'Brien. You can say a lot of things about him. One thing that you can't say about him is he's not tough.
Yeah, that's something you'd be surprised about him if you don't watch him on film. Just looking at him, he doesn't look like a guy who could just run you over. He looks like he's probably going to juke you out or outrun you. No, and there's a Heber Springs.
Got a Heber Springs player injured on the field.
But as I was saying, Austin O'Brien can run you over. He can juke you out. He can outrun you. He can do anything. He can do it in the pass game. He's created sacks on defense. He's gotten picked balls. He can do it all on the football field. I bet you if you told him to go play center, he could go play it. That's a joke. But
yeah, no, I mean, I actually don't doubt it. He probably would. But while we've got another dead ball here, folks, we'll let you know that tonight's game, another sponsor brought to you, H&K Heating and Air, has been providing top-notch heating and air service to Northwest Arkansas since 1999. When your home gets uncomfortable, be sure and call your comfort specialist, H&K Heating and Air, specializing in today's technology-advanced heating and air system. H&K is ready to become the call you make during emergencies for maintenance and installation. You can contact H&K at 479-366. And my phone isn't cooperating with me, so I can't get you the rest of that phone number. Do you have it memorized, John? You probably heard this enough this year. At 169, I guess just push the remaining 10 numbers on your phone and hope for the best.
So here comes Gravette offense. And Beige Soleil will come out, most likely just to get another push in there. Oh, that's a monster set. My bad. That is a monster set. And most likely, when this comes out, it's Austin O'Brien up the middle.
Yep.
So
1st and goal from the 5-yard line. Now they're going to send O'Brien on a motion out here. And they're just going to keep it Tajay way, a little quarterback power. Probably what Coach Harrelson probably likes to call that Bama Q, if I remember correctly. So, blast play to the right, carried by the quarterback. So,
if there's one play I remember from playing, that's the one.
Giving away too many secrets up here. They're going to kick it. They're going to kick us out of the booth. But it's no secret what you're going to do whenever you do that. So, hand off to O'Brien, and he will get into the end zone, and that is 6 for Gravette. Well, and that what we talked about, that's big.
Well, I thought they needed to get 7 points, and hopefully they still get 7. They still got to knock through the extra points. But they needed to put that one in the end zone. They could go another scoreless drive for sure. Even a field goal, I think, wouldn't have done them any good. So now it's only, I'm not going to say 7 points yet. so I don't jinx.
It's a one-possession game.
It's a one-possession game.
We'll go with that. Mormon will hold. Low snap. Mormon gets it. Childress's kick is up and splits the uprights. Now it's a 7-point game. Okay, so we're a touchdown, extra point away, and we'll see if that maybe gives the Lions a little bit of a push to get through the rest of the game. Maybe gives the defense a little bit of a spark here as it's now 14-7.
You would think at least they'd be a little bit more excited coming back out there on defense to make a stop. So let's see what happens. And you can see there's a little bit more. They're a little bit more pumped up. But Gravette wants to go back up there and tie the ball game up. So defense got to come out here and play with some intensity, just like the offense just did, and preferably force a turnover or hold them to a 3-and-out. So, and Chris Childress comes to put the tee on the grass.
479-366-1691 is that phone number, by the way. I finally got my phone to cooperate with me, folks, for H&K Heating and Air. Or you can just catch them on Facebook. Phone number will be posted there, too.
So the Lion Letterman prediction had Heber Springs only scoring 13, and I believe I had them scoring 14. So
you're still on. You're still on point.
I'm still on. So Lion Letterman is wrong.
Yeah, I'll let them know.
Okay, they're right down here. So.
Yeah, we'll dangle a little piece of paper down there in a second that just said you were wrong on your score prediction. And but that's okay. At 14, if we can hold them at 14 the rest of the night, we'll take that.
As long as they win the game, I'll take it. I don't care what the score is. And a little short pooch kick.
Taking it to 15. It looks like Heber Springs wants to run reverse, a fake reverse. And he's got room out there to the left side. He's got one man to beat. He's going to do it. And it's going to be a touchdown for Heber Springs. My goodness. Well, some triggeration on the kick return. It's not something you see very often. And they caught Gravette flying to the ball and not staying home. And that's another touchdown for Heber Springs, and it's 20-7. And they're an extra point away from going back up by 2 touchdowns.
And what we just said, their momentum might have gotten back to Gravette, but just like that, Heber Springs takes it back.
Well, you said you don't see that very often. When you do see that, it doesn't usually work. But there's that 1 out of 10 times that it goes big.
You can see all the Gravette players going to that reverse, and that is what caused the big hole at the end over there.
Yep, and they just faked it. I mean, like I said, that's not something you usually see, but they fooled the Gravette kickoff coverage team and went all the way down the field for 85 yards, and it's 21-7 now. Heber Springs will be back on top. 10 minutes, 30 seconds to play, second quarter.
And the Gravette offense comes back on. We'll come back onto the field and try to, again, put this within 1 score. And even down by 2 scores here, Gravette can't let that haunt them. They got to think this is still a 0-0 ball game. They got to go out there and keep putting points on the board, or it could get ugly quick.
Well, if there's one good thing that comes from that, like we just said, Gravette's offense looked good last time out. They've got some momentum. They're going to go right back out on the field with a chance to get it back to within a touchdown. So let's hope that they can do that. 10 minutes, 30 seconds. Heber Springs up 21-7.
And Austin O'Brien back to return the kick. And they will
not
kick
it to him. It's a little pooch kick, and it's a fair caught by, is that Huntsman that made that fair catch?
That
no.
Tristan Flournoy.
Tristan Flournoy on the fair catch. Okay. I just was going by body type over there. And
so, a red-hot Gravette offense coming right back onto the field after 2 plays.
Well, and
3 plays.
And another good thing about that is you think about it. Maybe not the worst thing. You certainly don't want to go at that point. Let that defense stay on the sideline a little bit longer. Get regrouped and see what happens whenever they come back out. I'm sure, they don't want to give up any more points on the night. So, I formation, sweep out to O'Brien. Heber's going to stretch it out pretty well. O'Brien's going to cut upfield. He gets across the 35. And he's going to be brought down at the 38-yard line.
Be about 3-yard pickup. So one thing I noticed from Heber, they get to the ball quickly. They chase the ball down, and they don't let him get much more than he should. And that's something Gravette's got to adjust to. Maybe start running the ball inside a little more.
One thing Heber Springs is doing tonight that Gravette hasn't done, making tackles on first contact. Here's O'Brien at the middle. He's got nowhere to go as he's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage.
You know, I think from up here you can see if Tajay White has that ball, he looks like he has a lot of space. I don't know if that was read option or not, but that was one of the plays where you wish he could have kept it or something, but I don't know if he had the choice to.
Gravette will be empty here. White will drop back. He'll throw it to Mormon. Mormon makes the catch. Can't spin upfield, though, and he's going to be dropped short of the first down. It's going to bring up 4th and 2.
And how this ball game is going, you wonder if Gravette gambles right now.
Yeah. Good adjustment to the balls that was thrown just a little bit behind him. Mormon was open. Thrown a little bit behind him. Mormon made an excellent adjustment to that football and make the catch. And we'll see Gravette. I would imagine Gravette's offense is going to stay on the field right here. We'll see if they go with a hard count.
And I wouldn't be surprised to do, but it looks like they're going monster.
They're going to put in that monster's head. It's a power I formation right now. They're lining up like they're going to QB sneak it, and they are going to QB sneak it, and they got it. Wow. Tajay White, 3 yards on a quarterback sneak. Well, you know, Heber Springs runs a 3 front, and if there's one thing about a 3 front, it's usually susceptible to plays like that. And so quarterback sneak, pick a side where that nose guard isn't, and there's usually a lane there, and that's what Gravette did.
And, you know, from that far out, I mean, that's only about 1.5 yards, maybe 2 yards. But that far off, you don't see quarterback sneaks from that far off, but Gravette just did it, and they got about a couple yards more than that.
Well, when you put Teichman and Sule in the game and just kind of let them push their way through. O'Brien in motion back. White pulls, dives ahead, picks up about 2. He was tripped up. Can't see the number. I believe that was number 59 for Heber Springs that pulled him down. That's Joseph Stacks.
So I think they're going to give him about 3 yards. We're going to have second.
I won't complain about it. I think it's a pretty good spot, but now we're going to have a penalty. It's going to be a false start. I believe they caught O'Brien taking steps forward early. Nope. Just offensive lineman. False start offensive lineman. That's
well. And once again, we said before, you can't get behind the chains if you're a team like Gravette. That's not how they play. In 2nd and 12, I still expect Gravette to try to run the football here.
Oh, yeah, you can still run the ball. You got a chance to see what you can get on 2nd down here, and then if it's 3rd and short or even 3rd and medium, you know, you still got a lot of plays on the table. But what you can't have here is no gain. It's a play action, and it's a throwback, and it's intercepted. My goodness. They were trying a throwback screen, and it was intercepted by Heber Springs. That's I believe, number 9. Chris Hart, the defensive end, stayed home. And he just grabbed that thing with one arm and one hand, and there was nowhere.
And Austin O'Brien wasn't even looking at the ball.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
Yeah.
I know Austin O'Brien probably should have been looking at it, but if he's not looking, I don't think he should throw that football. And right away, Gravette down huge here in the 2nd quarter.
Going after is good. With 8:22 remaining in the first half, your score, Heber Springs 28, Gravette 7.
And this is not what I expected here out of Gravette, but still a lot of football left. So we'll see what happens. So Gravette has fumbled twice and thrown a pick 6, and the kickoff team has let a kickoff return go for touchdown. So not a lot has gone right for Gravette tonight, but luckily it's still early in this first half and a ton of football left. A lot of momentum plays could still go in Gravette's way. So Gravette's defense has not played a snap since, I believe, mid-first quarter.
Yeah, certainly not. That's 2 turnovers now by Gravette that's directly led to 14 Heber Springs points. Without that, I mean, you're looking at a 14-7 game. Or maybe even 14-14 or 14-10 if Gravette can connect on that fumble that they had earlier and couldn't punch it in. Now, a short kick, it's going to bounce, and that's trouble. Whew.
Tristan Florida with the quick hands to get on that ball.
I'm sure whenever he saw that thing coming at him short like that, his heart started beating 100 miles an hour. I know mine did up here because I was just seeing that thing bouncing around and Heber Springs picking it up. But
and good thing about a kick like that, Gravette gets good field position to start off the drive.
Yeah. Well, like you talked about earlier, you talked about needing points earlier. You need points on this drive. You can't afford to not score points here.
And I think, again, a field goal does you nothing here. I believe touchdown has got to be the way.
White back out on the field. Hands it off to O'Brien right up the middle. O'Brien cuts to the outside. He's going to break a tackle. He's across midfield, still carrying defenders, and he gets down inside the 45. And he'll be brought down at the 44-yard line. 16-yard gain by Austin O'Brien. And when you need somebody, go to the milk cow.
Yep.
Let him carry you home, and let's see if O'Brien can put this team on his back right now, because that's kind of what they need. And O'Brien's asking for a sub. O'Brien's asking for a sub, and Coach Harrelson's going to take a timeout. Coach Harrelson will take a timeout with 8:06 to play in the second quarter. Score, Heber Springs 28, Gravette 7.
And it's been a little humbling moment for a Gravette team coming in hot off of 4 wins, but as well Heber Springs coming in off of 4 wins as well.
Sure. Yeah.
4 straight wins. So 2 teams playing hot coming into each other. And Gravette, normally a second half team, has been all season long. So I expect this game to be, I expect them to make this closer going into the first half, and it helps them to get the ball going into the second half, or coming out of the second half as well. So
tonight's game brought to you by the Gravette Athletic Booster Club, a proud sponsor of this broadcast. I want you to know there are several ways you can get involved, and one of those is becoming a Booster Club sponsor. Platinum sponsorship is $250, gold is $150, and silver is $75. All sponsorships to the Booster Club are tax deductible. If you have any questions regarding becoming a Gravette Athletic Booster Club sponsor, please call Jennifer Mormon at 479-787-0299. As they hand it off to O'Brien over the right side, he picks up 9 on that first down play, so it'll be 2nd and 1.
Yep, and you know, if you ever see the offense, they really start going when Austin gets something going. When he gets something going, everything else starts to follow behind him. So really, he really is, you know, that Bell thing. You know, he controls that offense. And there goes Tajay White with a first down run.
White over the right side. He'll pick up about 4. That'll be enough for a first down.
Here comes Gravette.
White will hand it off to O'Brien on the right side. Not much there, but O'Brien will keep moving. And he'll pick up about 1 as he was brought down. Looked like it was going to go for no gain really at first, so I'll give him credit for gaining 1 yard there. Be 2nd and 9.
2nd and 9 at the, looks like the Heber Springs 30-yard line.
Yeah. Gravette needs to get to the 21-yard line here for this first down. Clock running 7 minutes and 3 seconds right now. White will hand it off to O'Brien on the left side. He's got room out there and blockers. O'Brien across 25, inside the 20. O'Brien nearly skips a tackle. He'll get brought down at the 15, but it will be a first down for Gravette. And the Lions are knocking on the door again. 6 minutes, 54 seconds to play. Gravette driving. Need points on this drive with the score. Heber Springs 28, Gravette 7. 1st and 10 from the 15. Gravette wanting to go a little bit up-tempo here. Trips to the right. One man by himself to the left. They'll give it back to O'Brien as he'll go on the right side. He breaks a tackle inside the 10, lowers his shoulder, and is going to get down to the 6-yard line.
That's going to get just short of the first down.
9-yard gain by O'Brien.
Oh, they're going to mark him at the 8. I thought he was at the 6, or at least the 7, but they'll mark him a couple yards short.
No, the ball's at the 6. Referee was standing back at the 8, but they do have the ball at the 6, so it's 2nd and 1. They need to get to the 5-yard line.
And that monster package is in.
Fake sweep. They ran that a couple of times a couple of weeks ago whenever I was here for the Shiloh Christian game. Didn't get to go to the Ginger game. I watched it here online, Letterman. But White fakes that, runs that fake sweep in that monster set and tucks it right back up in the middle. Picks up 3 yards, 2 or 3 yards. Either way, it's enough for a first down. It's 1st and goal from about the 3.5.
And that monster package stays out there.
Yeah, why go with anything else? You just put those big boys in there and let them push around as they'll give it to O'Brien. He leaps over a tackler. and makes it into the end zone. 6 points for the Lions. It's 28-13. Childress will come out to kick the extra point and get this back to within a 2-possession game.
And ensuing the extra point, hopefully the kickoff team is prepared for what could happen. So, interesting to see what Heber Springs does when they get the ball back on that kickoff, if Gravette even risks that.
Yeah, I don't think, probably a little bit too early to do that, as Childress's extra point is wide left. Man, well, that's big. It's still a 2-possession game, but it's now a extra point and a 2-point conversion. So 6:05 to play, first half. Heber Springs 28, Gravette 13. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by KD Photography. KD Photography is a first-year sponsor for Lion Letterman. Owner Kim Durham has a completely laid-back and relaxed style and loves to have fun with clients. She believes that your session should be fun and spontaneous. You can check out her portfolio by visiting her website, www.iloveherkd.com, or you can give her a call or text at 479-366-2476, or follow her on social media by simply searching KD Photography. Bank of Gravette has been as a locally owned and operated community bank since 1898. Bank of Gravette serves customers in a friendly, relaxed environment with a hometown feel that separates them from the competition. Bank of Gravette wants to help you achieve those financial milestones, from buying a new car or new home to financing new farm equipment and starting a business. Generations have come to rely upon Bank of Gravette and trust them to do what's right. Stop by any Bank of Gravette location in Gravette, Centerton, or Hiwassee. Well, a touchdown, missed field goal keeps it a 15-point game, but still 6 points, and that is what Gravette needed, as Childress now will boot this one away. They'll kick it short. It's going to be taken by the up man at the 30, and he'll lower his head and drive up to the 39-yard line. Well, John, Heber Springs has scored 14 points without their offense touching the field. Their offense hasn't been on the field since halfway through the first quarter, and they've scored 14 points.
That offense could be cold coming back on this field. That's something Gravette needs to take advantage of.
Yeah. Well, hopefully the defense isn't cold. Hopefully they've been sitting over on the sideline stewing.
Well, luckily for Gravette, a lot of the defensive players plays on offense anyway, so they're still warmed up. But I didn't see much of, Heber's offense playing on defense. So hopefully they're cold.
Martin, almost a high snap. He hands it to Wilson, and Wilson goes around the right side. He'll pick up about 3.
Nelson on the carry.
Blaze Nelson, beg your pardon. I believe I called him Blaze Wilson. He picks up 3. It's 2nd and 7 as he just gets across the 40-yard line to the 41.
And, they're kind of a little bit slower to the ball than some teams Gravette's face. It's still pretty fast, but gives Gravette a little bit of a breather every single play.
There's Nelson again around the right side. Nowhere to go. He's going to break a few tackles, though, and he's going to still gain about 2 yards.
Flag on the field.
Flag on the field.
I'm glad you saw it because I didn't see it come flying in. So it's a gain of 2. It would be 3rd and 5 if the play stands. And it looks like it will not stand. We're going to get a holding call on Heber Springs. So that'll take it back. It'll be 2nd down and 13. So 2nd and 13 instead of 3rd and 5. You'll take your chances with that. Heber Springs probably going to have to throw the ball now. Might try to run it here, get a little bit closer, and then throw it on 3rd down. See what they decide to do. Well, one thing you talked about, Heber Springs not as fast. They kind of huddle. It's a little bit of a modified huddle. Their offensive line huddles, and the receivers and backs stay off the ball. Now Heber Springs will take a timeout. 5:05 to play. Heber Springs wants to take a timeout and talk about it. It's 2nd and 13.
And we talk about that, and it gives Gravette's defense a little bit of a breather every single play, which is something they really need, knowing most of them play offense. So, that's something they need.
Looking to buy a new home? Sell your current home? Then give Greenheart Realty, located in downtown Gravette, a call today. At Greenheart Realty, we want to have compassion for our neighbors. With this in mind, a part of every home sale or purchase is donated to a need in our community as part of our Pay It Forward mindset. Call Greenheart Realty today at 479-787-6400. Well, this is a big stop here, or big chance at a defensive stop here. 5:05 to play. The offense has looked good the last couple of times out on the field for Gravette. You've had a kickoff return for a touchdown and then an interception on a kind of a botched screenplay, throwback screenplay that no one was home. And if you intercept that, that's 6. There's nothing really you can do about it. So Heber Springs has scored 14 points without their offense being on the field. Now they'll go second 12. Play action. They want to throw it. He's going to throw it deep. He's got a man, but he overthrows it. He was looking for Dylan Spivey. Say when I said he had a man, Mason Dagley was running with him there. I mean, he wasn't wide open, but he did have a step on Dagley. So
would have took a perfect throw to get to him.
Well, I'll tell you, it's a young man that stepped up this year, and I haven't got a chance to watch a lot of games, but I've heard a lot of really good things. Mason Dagley's been doing an excellent job in that bandit position for this Gravette defense. Just
Big
a sophomore. Third down, they're going to draw back to pass. He's going to throw it deep again, and he put it right on the money. What a pass. What a pass by Adam Martin for Heber Springs. Brandon Ballard just stuck his hand in there and knocked it away. That was a perfect pass. It took a perfect defensive play to knock it away, and that's what Brandon Ballard did.
Yeah, my heart started to sink a little bit, and then Brandon knocks it away and it back to life.
Yeah, as he let that thing go, I tell you, I think, you know, me and you both, I thought, my goodness, he hit him in stride, and he did. It was just a little bit short. Now, Heber Springs going to leave kind of an offensive look out onto the field. Surely they're not. Yeah, it's going to be a quick kick. Yeah, quick kick. A little bit dangerous. They go to Mormon. Mormon, no one down there, and Mormon's got wide open Grice on the right side. He's across midfield, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Well, that's something you got to be careful about doing that. Brady Mormon is a dangerous returner, and whenever you do that quick kick, and they've got a man back, it doesn't lend much to coverage, and Brady Mormon pretty much returned that almost right where the first down stick was.
And you notice it was almost blocked initially anyway. I mean, I said right before that, I said they do pooch kicks. So I don't know if you heard me say that.
Yeah, I heard you say pooch kick. I call it a quick kick. You call it a pooch kick.
And I saw them doing that in warm-ups.
Hand off to O'Brien as he squeezes through the middle and breaks a few tackles and dives down inside the 40. He'll be down at the 39-yard line. 4.5 minutes to play in this one. 28-13. Heber Springs, Gravette needs a score right here. Take some momentum into the locker room.
A lot to think about right here. But if they do put 6 on the board, is it too early to go for 2?
My philosophy says yes. I don't want to chase those points early, but you know, being around Coach Harrelson, I wouldn't be surprised if he does. And the reason why is because then he knows what he has to get for the rest of the way. O'Brien with the fake, or I'm sorry, White with the fake. I just get used to saying O'Brien's name so much. White with the fake, and he powers ahead inside the 30. He takes it all the way down to the 27. Or I'm sorry, beg your pardon, the 22, inside the 25-yard line. Big game for Tajay White there. 4:04 to play now.
And I tell you what, this offensive line is opening up holes like no other right now.
Yeah, the Gravette's starting to gash. And that's one thing we talked about. I talked about that 3-man front. It leaves you susceptible to the running game. O'Brien again, another big hole. Bounces off a couple of tacklers and forces his way down inside the 15.
And I'm talking about holes are big. I mean, I got to give Heber secondary linebackers some kudos for getting up there and hitting them right away, but those are some big holes.
Yeah, that's one thing talk about. I like the 3-5 defense. I've always been a fan of it. Or this 3-stack. They don't really run a 3-5. It's more of a 3-stack. But now they kind of go up in a 4-man look, and O'Brien takes the fake. A White takes to the right side. Nobody there. Just a little bit of extracurricular activity. I was looking back. I was looking over at the line judge to kind of see where the ball was being spotted. I didn't think there was anything malicious in there. I think the Heber Springs player was just walking back to his side, and I think their legs just got tangled up. And I think he was just trying to kick himself free. I don't think there was anything malicious there, but I didn't see it. So.
And I didn't see it either.
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. O'Brien straight up the middle in that monster package, and he's down to the 10-yard line. And a first down. 3rd and 4 after losing a yard. That's what you need. You give it back to O'Brien. Let him take it down. 2 minutes, 50 seconds to play till halftime. 28-13, Gravette driving. And you need these points right here.
I agree with you. If they score, they should just go for an extra point. But, with a missed extra point, they might not be too confident in it.
Now in that monster package, they'll run a sweep out to O'Brien, and he'll get down inside the 5 and be taken down to 4. Well, Heber Springs tried to adjust a little bit there. When they had that monster package in, you saw them. They brought a couple of extra linebackers down, and they tried to just jam up those holes there with like a 5-man defensive front. And what does Gravette do? They run a sweep through the outside. So a little bit of a cat and mouse game here going on. Still in that monster set. They'll give it back to O'Brien. He'll power ahead. I don't think he got in. He'll be marked short. Looks like maybe the 1-yard line.
I say this is Bailey's too late time.
Yeah. It'll be 3rd and goal. We'll see if they go with. Yeah, they will, I believe, as they're going to take O'Brien out, give him a breather.
I think this will be a sneak. It's been working all game. Might as well do it
Certainly
again.
looks like that's what it's going to be, as they'll give it to White, as he'll take the snap and push it in. We'll see if he gets in. No signal yet. Certainly looked like he got enough push. No, they didn't give it to him. Yeah, the touchdown signal that you saw was from a Gravette player. They didn't give it to him. They'll put it at the inch line. I got to think Gravette's going to go for it now. Why not? Just line up and quarterback sneak it again. That's what they'll do. I don't know. My goodness. There they go. It was a delay.
Second effort.
Boy, I was scared. And Coach Carrollson will leave the offense out. They will go for 2. Well, I said that earlier. Don't chase those points. But when the main offense has been on the field, Gravette's been able to pretty much do what they want with the ball the last couple of times. So you got to trust your offense to be able to gain 3 yards here.
Ooh, weird formation.
So they're going to go with a swinging gate look here. They'll send a man in motion. That's Mormon. They'll snap it to White. He'll shovel pass to O'Brien, and he won't get in. Man, I hate to question Coach Harrelson because he's forgot more football than I know at this stage of my career. I hope to know as much as him, but I question that a little bit. You've been able to just pound it ahead and just in regular formations, and the monster set and the. I got to think I would just stay with that if it were me, but it's still a touchdown. It's 6 points for Gravette. It's 28-19. Lions were right back in this one with 1:21 to play until halftime.
Man, what a big 2-point conversion that would have been going into halftime. And I do, Coach Harrison is a extremely smart man, but I do question it a little bit. As you said, they were doing anything they wanted to, right, in regular formations, and they couldn't get that. A little bit too much trickery, I think.
May have tried to get a little bit too good, but hindsight is 20/20. If it had worked, we'd have been talking about what a genius he was. So,
and it almost got it.
Yep, they did. Yeah, maybe half a yard short, if even that. So, well, with 1:21 to play, Gravette will kick it off again. Childress will tee it up at the 40-yard line. 28-19 our score. Heber Springs. I want to keep. I don't know why I want to keep calling Heber Springs P Ridge for some reason, but I do. Nowhere close, nowhere near each other.
No,
they're red, but they don't look anything like them, and they certainly don't have the same style as P Ridge.
Trust me, it's okay. I accidentally called Ginger Gravette last week.
Oh yeah, that's a cardinal sin. Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't run you out of town. You were allowed to go to school this week.
I was.
Little line drive, pooch type kick. They'll get it. Breaks a couple tackles, but oh my goodness, still up. My gosh. And now he's going to go, and there's nobody there to stop him. My goodness.
Chris might get him. No.
Three non-offensive touchdowns by Heber Springs in the second quarter. My goodness.
And just like that, Heber Springs takes commanding lead again.
Yeah.
You got to wonder why they keep kicking it deep.
That wasn't a deep
really
kick.
Kick,
Heber Springs adjusted. They brought their deep men up, and I would think, if you see that, you think go ahead. Chris can put it in the end zone. Give him a chance to do it. But that extra point's up and good, and it's 35-19, minute 2 seconds left.
And you think about it, and if they just wrap up there, he's down.
Yeah. Oh, they have him. They have him dead to rights at the 30-yard line. So tackling has been a problem tonight for Gravette for whatever reason. That's something that we haven't seen lately. But Arvest Bank in Gravette is a proud sponsor of Lion Letterman. The branch is located on Highway 59 South, half a mile south of Main Street in Gravette. Arvest has served the financial needs of customers for more than 50 years. Today, that's true in more than 120 communities. Arvest operates 16 locally managed community-oriented banks, each with its own local president, board of directors, and management team. This commitment to our banks being led at the local level is unusual for a bank the size of Arvest, but we believe it is one of the values that makes Arvest unique.
And, you think about it. Heber Springs' offense has been on the field for 3 plays. And they went 3 and out. So, that's how 21 points in the second quarter for Heber Springs, and their offense has played 3 plays. No, they didn't score touchdowns on all 3 plays. They kickoff return for touchdown, pick 6, kickoff return for touchdown. And the kickoff return, I honestly thought they're going to call him dead. They're going to call him down. Just he wasn't moving, but they didn't.
A little bit of a switch. I believe that was Zach Grimes over there on that side of the ball.
I believe that was Kenton Teichman.
Kenton Teichman. No, Bailey Soule, 45.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'll finish up my thoughts on Arvest here. As I was reading on my phone, I apologize, folks. I'm having to read these off my phone tonight, so it makes it a little bit more challenging. Whether customers are shopping for mortgages, credit cards, personal loans, home equity, or checking and savings accounts, they know they'll get local service at Arvest from neighbors they know and trust. Call your Gravette branch at 479-271-1253. Well, 58 seconds. Gravette has 2 timeouts. I mean, you've got time to do something with it now as the White will pull it from right, and he's got room all across midfield, breaks a couple of tackles, gets down inside the 45. It's a first down. It's a first down. Gravette will see if they'll hurry back up to the line. They don't have to take that timeout as the clock does stop for the chains moving. They will reset that clock, though, as soon as the chains are set, and they are set now. Snap, and it's O'Brien. O'Brien chucks down inside the 40. He'll get to the 39-yard line, and Gravette will take a timeout. Well, the Lions take that timeout, and it will be 41 seconds to play, and it is 35-19.
And go back to even before the game, when you're talking about the passing yards for Gravette, this is one of the times where sometimes not having a passing game kind of hurts you. There's only 41 seconds left, and you're a run football team. It hurts you a little bit, but hopefully Austin or Tajik can break one out, or at least get in the field goal range for Chris.
Yep. Well, if you've been to the Bentonville Square lately and have seen the Preacher's Son Scotch and Soda, the original press room, What's Ahead, Massey Building, and Fat Tire Bike Shop, then you've seen the handiwork of Hart and Soule Builders. Hart and Soule specializes in residential and commercial construction projects and are a proud sponsor of Lion Letterman. Call Brian today at 479-721-3637 or follow them on Facebook. Trying to get some of these sponsors in since we missed an entire quarter of them without our shees. There's a little screen pass underneath to Brian, to Moorman, a little tunnel screen, and Brady gets down inside the 30. It's another first down to the 28-yard line. It'll stop the clock. It'll stop the clock. They'll run up, and I believe you're right. They're gonna spike it. White spikes it into the ground with 33 seconds to play in the half. It's 35-19. Well, talk about you want 6.
Spike ball will stop the clock. It's second down.
But you'll take 3 right here. And you need about, I'd say you need about 8 more yards to feel real comfortable here. It's a cold night, ball's harder, and you're kicking into a pretty, not a stiff wind, but it's certainly a steady wind. And the clock has started. It was an incomplete pass, and the clock had started. They throw this to Moorman. Moorman spins ahead, and he'll get down to the 16-yard line, and it's enough. It's enough for a first down, but the clock started. It was an incomplete pass. The clock shouldn't have started until the snap, and the clock started. That's normally you get home cooking, and we didn't get it there. So everybody's a little bit cold, I guess.
So no timeout.
They'll hand it to O'Brien straight up the middle, and he's in. O'Brien at the 5, touchdown.
Now you got to go for 2. I believe you have to.
Give Gravette 6 on that one, and I believe you are correct. You will go for 2 here. It's a 16-point game before that.
No trickery.
It's a 16-point game. You need 2 touchdowns and 2 2-point conversions. We'll see what Gravette does here. They will go for 2. They've left the offense out there. Man.
Is there any way there could be a 13.9-second 2-point conversion that we can still get in? Because I don't want to kick it to him.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
I don't want to.
Well, the clock doesn't run on 2-point conversion, unfortunately.
Yeah, I wish it did.
Truth be told, I would almost consider just onside kicking it. I mean, really, the problem with that is you give them a chance at tossing one towards the end zone, and
he has an arm.
And he does have an arm. We've seen him show off his arm tonight, and that's one of those plays you never know what'll happen there. Gravette's out on the field already. They're ready to go.
I'm a little shocked Bailey and Tykeman aren't out there for the monster set, but I think they're just confident they can just go out there and put this in. And I am too. I really believe Austin can just put this in. And you notice there is no one out on the outside.
Nope. Now they'll move someone out there now.
And a couple people.
It's 9 formation. They'll run a play action. White will throw it to Colton Grimes, who makes the catch over his right shoulder and falls into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. And it's within an 8-point game, 35-27. Well, you know, not what I predicted. We may be in for a barn burner tonight. 13.9 seconds. Heber Springs has returned 2 kickoffs for touchdowns.
They cannot afford that.
You know what this game reminds me of a little bit. Let's hope that it turns out differently. My senior year, we finished second in the conference that year. We played a home playoff game against Dardanelle. Dardanelle came in much like this Heber Springs team. This Heber Springs team is the 3rd seed from their conference. They tied for the conference championship. It was a 3-way tie for the conference championship, and they just lost, the tiebreakers. It was like that. We were second in our conference. We had lost to Prairie Grove. That was our only loss on the year. Dardanelle came in. They had a 3-way tie for first place, and they had fell to the 2nd seed, and they were actually probably the best team from their conference that year. They were, I think, ranked 3rd in the state when they came and played us at our place in the first round. And they were 9-1. We gave up 2 kickoff returns for a touchdown and 2 punts returned for a touchdown. And the final score, they beat us 25-12 was the final score. So, we eliminate those 3, a punt and 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns, and we win the game. And we win the game 12-7. So. And there it is. It's an onside kick. And I think it went far enough. Oh, my goodness. It went just far enough. Gravette had it surrounded as it just barely rolled across midfield. And there's a flag down. They're going to say that Gravette touched it, I think. I didn't see anybody touch it. I didn't see anybody touch it. The ref says that it was touched, or at least they're talking about it right now. I don't believe anybody touched it.
I don't think so either. But they're so close encountered. They're so close encountered.
Well, it certainly didn't look like it was. We'll see. The one good thing about this is I remember this last year during a game. New huddle sideline. The coaches can see the play as it happens, right after it happens. And if I look down right now, I'm willing to bet you I can find a coach with it out. Yep, there's Coach Stockton right there pulling out his iPad to see if he can see if it was touched. And we did that one last year. Coach Harrelson, I remember at halftime looking at it and asking, I just want to stop. He wanted to pause it and show it to a ref on a spot, on a place similar to that. So this is it. I'm sure Heber Springs will try to Hail Mary it. We're going to get a flag for holding as the pass is short, as it skips. It skips in to number 13. That's Blaze Nelson, the running back. He plays running back and wide receiver for them. We are going to get a holding call on Heber Springs. They were double teaming a Lion defensive lineman and just tackled him to the ground. So it's pretty easy. It's pretty easy.
On the offensive lineman is a penalty.
Yeah. It's pretty easy. I'll say it's pretty easy to make that call when you fall down on the ground and the offensive lineman falls on top of you. That's a pretty easy call. Well, it's enforced from the spot, and it was about 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage, 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So it brings up a first down. It'll be first down again, but it brings up a first down and 25 at their own 36.
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't be shocked here if they just need the ball.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. But they take a timeout like they want to try something. When it's like this, I'm with you on this one. You honestly, offensively, you haven't done much. And you've gotten an interception and 2 kickoff returns. Do you risk throwing the ball and maybe risk an interception and a pick six? But you would think that's got to balance out at some point in time, right?
Yes. And they really, this lead's slipping away from them.
Yeah. I don't want to say you panic, but certainly the halftime can't come fast enough for Heber Springs right now. They roll out to the right, and they throw it out into the flats, and it's incomplete. They'll get one more play with 2 seconds left.
So this last 10 seconds or whatever.
It'll bring up 2nd and 25 with 2 seconds. some some bleacher coaches down there screaming. I'm looking outside. From our vantage point, the bleachers have quite a few empty seats, but I'm willing to bet I can see down the hill here a little bit, and there's a lot of people sitting on the hill here at Gravette, which has been a very popular spot. They'll just run it straight ahead. That will be the end of the first half, as they'll be brought down. Pushes it ahead for about 8 yards, but that'll take staff time. An entertaining first half,
to say the least.
Yeah, absolutely. The score: Heber Springs 35. Gravette 27. Before we go off real quick for halftime, I'll see if I can't pull up some scores from around the state.
Tell you what, if you would have told me that it was going to be the final score, I'd be like, all right, cool.
Yeah, I believe you.
I believe you.
But halftime? Let's see. P Ridge leads Waldron 40-0 at the half. Southside leads Gentry 21-0 at the half. Let's see, who else have I got here? I'm looking through my scores. Shiloh Christian trails Stuttgart right now, 18-0 second quarter. That's a little bit of a shock, I think. Prairie Grove all over Pottsville, 34-7.
And Stuttgart was a team Gravette had a chance to play, and as of right now, pretty happy they're not.
Yeah, and at halftime, Gosnell leads Malvern, 35-17. So
that game's not over. It's still a two-possession game there.
So three possession, but still not a blowout by any means. I think that sports score probably surprises a lot of people. A lot of people had Malvern picked to win that one, but we'll go to halftime. 20 minutes on the clock. We'll rejoin you a couple minutes before we retake. We'll let you watch halftime festivities.
And we'll be back to hopefully watch the Gravette come back.
scores of interest at halftime. Sun Garden leads Shiloh Christian 12-7. Key Ridge leads Waldron 40-0. Prairie Grove leads Pottsville at half 34-7. Batesville Southside over Gentry 35-0. And Gosnell over Malvern currently 28-14.
Hey fans, be sure and check out Briley's Boutiques. They are located bouquets. I apologize. They are located at 421 West Centerton Boulevard in Centerton. Call 479-224-4662. They open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5:30, and Saturday, 8 to noon. Not only do they have fresh flowers, but they also make custom wreaths, have an assortment of home decor, and even a small selection of jewelry. They offer a dozen red roses wrapped for $19.99, carry out only. Builtwell Construction is a proud sponsor of the live stream. Located in Hiawassee, Builtwell Construction has been a longtime supporter of Gravette Public Schools and Gravette High School athletics. Lion Letterman and GHSTV thank them for their support of this production. Looking for a place to store your boat during the winter? Or maybe you're in between moves and your furniture won't fit in your current home or apartment? Give Alumni Mini Storage a call. Alumni Mini Storage has 2 locations that each include concrete and outdoor lighting. Call 479-855-2505 or visit them on the web at alumnistorage.com. Well, John, a minute left before we get started here in the second half. 35-27 our score. Heber Springs leads. Really a kind of a wild first half.
And, what's kind of interesting about it was there's 35 points on the board right now from Heber Springs, and only 14 of that is from their offense. And only 7 of that is from their defense.
Yeah.
So
two kickoff returns for a touchdown. Wild first half. Not at all what we expected. I'm going to do some corrections here. Before we went off the air at the end of the first half, I told you that the score was Stuttgart 18, Shiloh Christian nothing at halftime. Somebody on the old score stream that I look at jumped the gun, and they gave Shiloh's touchdown to Stuttgart. So the score is actually Stuttgart 12, Shiloh Christian 7 at halftime. Batesville Southside leads Gentry 35-0 at halftime. Prairie Grove leads Pottsville 34-7 at halftime, and Pea Ridge leads Waldron 40-0 at halftime. So Pea Ridge will move on, as that will be a Mercy Rule game in the second half. And Prairie Grove looks like they're going to move on. Gentry looks like they'll be playing basketball tomorrow, and Shiloh Christian Stuttgart still anybody's game in that one. So, well, something that we didn't talk about in the first half as we get up. Gravette won the coin toss and deferred. They'll get the ball to start the second half. So they've got a little bit of that momentum on offense. They're down by 8. They'll get the ball to start the third quarter here. Heber Springs has been using that pooch kick. We'll see if they do that again. I'm sure they will. That's kind of what they put into place to keep it out of O'Brien's hands earlier, as he came close to busting a few touchdowns on kickoff returns right up the middle, unlike Heber, who was able to get 2, one off of a trick play, one off of a just missed tackles. And then, when that happens, you miss a lot of tackles, you lose contain, and you get breakdown in assignments. So there it is, and there's that short kick. It will go over Sulei's head. Actually, he'll go back and catch it over the shoulder. I thought he was going to let it go, and I thought it might go out of bounds, but Sule caught it and returned it to the 35, which is where they would have had the ball anyway had it gone out of bounds. So no harm, no foul, other than 7 seconds run off the clock instead of 0 maybe.
So the only thing you want to wonder about is the team coming out of the halftime, starts with the ball. You wonder if the offense is a little bit cold here, not warmed up. But I think there's some urgency right now to go out there and score the points. So I believe there will be the urgency. And also you can say the same thing for the Heber Springs defense, though, if they're ready for it.
Yeah. Trips to the right here, to the wide side of the field. They're going to run a sprint out. Tajay White's going to run it all the way. He gets up across the 40, tries to spin off a tackler, but he'll be dragged down about the 46-yard line, a gain of 11. There's no flags on the field. It'll be a first down. Nice play. Nice first play out of the locker room for the Lions. 11-yard gain by White on just a little rollout design quarterback run with O'Brien as a lead blocker. Hand off to O'Brien. Squeeze up the middle. He'll get to midfield, just across midfield. They'll blow it dead. Gain of about 4, so he'll be marked down right at midfield.
And, you think about the play right before this. White wasn't even touched until about 8 yards into the run. And you would hope that's how it's going to be the rest of this first half. Right there, the offensive line got enough push to get Austin 3 or 4 yards, and Austin got the last yard or so. But as you can see going into the second quarter, the offensive line gradually started to dominate this football game, and I expect them to keep doing it. And do it like really good. I expect him to dominate the second half. And right there,
White will fake it to O'Brien, and he'll go straight up the middle. He's got the first down. He gets picked up off the ground, but keeps carrying tacklers.
you can see
He'll get up to the 42-yard line, gain of 7 for a first down.
the offensive line moves the Heber Springs defense line to the left and open up the cutback lane there for Tajay White. And being in a former offensive line myself, I always look at that stuff. I always try to credit the offensive line as much as I can because I know they normally don't get it much.
No, I'm right there with you. I'm an offensive line coach now, but I played tight end in high school. But we were a wishbone team, so I was a glorified offensive lineman. They got to go out for about 3 passes a game, so I was I was blocking most of the time too. Design run to the left now for White. He'll have to break 1 tackle. He will. And he gets across the 40 and is out of bounds. It looks like at about the 37-yard line.
I'm not going to complain about it, but I saw at the end of the play there was a pretty definite hold there, I think, from Brady Mormon. But they didn't call it, so I'm not going to.
Yeah, no harm, no foul, right? Don't tell them. They might be listening. They might be listening to us, John. We don't want to let them know about that, right?
But I'll take it, and that's going to be about 2nd and 5. And this is, again, the type of offense Gravette wants to come out here. They don't want to be behind the chains, and this is what they want to, or chains, and this is what they want to do.
O'Brien with the handoff down to the right side. Slips out of 1 tackle, slips out of another tackle in between, and he's still on his feet down inside the 20. He'll be wrapped up and finally taken down at the 19-yard line. It was a gain of 12. On 2nd and 5, O'Brien just kept going, kept his legs moving, and picked up that first down. It's 1st and 10 now from the 20 as the Lions are inside the red zone.
And I ask this question again. Is it too early to be chasing points still?
No, now,
or is it now close enough?
Now you go for it. I think, you're down by 8. Now you go for it there. You went for it last time. You got it. Go for it again and tied up. And as O'Brien straight up the middle, no one touches him. He's in time. 5, touchdown. Gravette. 6 points for the Lions. The offense will stay on the field again, and we'll go for 2. It's 35-33. 10:07 to play, 3rd quarter, as the Lions have came all the way back and are within a 2-point conversion of tying this thing up early in the second half. Well, man, this game might be going until 1 o'clock in the morning the way these teams are scoring right now. We hope not. I'm tired.
Hey, no one in the backfield with Tajay White.
But now he'll send him in. So O'Brien will go in motion. He'll fake it to him. He'll dive ahead. I don't think he got in. He's going to be short. So Heber Springs will stay in the lead. Heber Springs will stay in the lead. It's 35-33, 10:07 to play. And we'll see how Gravette wants to approach the kickoff now, as that's been a tricky situation here.
I keep wondering why Gravette doesn't just go up there and just try to run that ball in with Austin or Bailey. But
yeah, I mean they try. I mean, it's a little fake, and then they try to power it up the middle, draw some attention to O'Brien and see what happens. But Patton Electric in Gravette. Patton Electric is proud to help bring you this broadcast of Gravette Lions football. No job is too big for Patton Electric, and they specialize in both commercial and residential work. Call owner and master electrician Joshua Patton at 949-485-9290 for any and all of your electrical needs. James Scantlin, realtor with Caldwell Banker Harris McHaney and Fawcett, is a proud Lion letterman himself, a member of the GHS class of 2000, and wants to be your real estate agent. James brings experience and familiarity into helping you find your new home or land. Call James today at 479-644-4495.
Now, you see that little cushion from the 20 back? That's where I want Chris to kick it.
Yeah, and he can. I mean, I would put it over their head right now, and if it doesn't go into the end zone, great. You don't want it to go in the end zone. You want to see if he'll put it over their head right here. I'd like to see him put it down on the left hash, and that's exactly what he'll do. He puts it deep, and it goes into the end zone.
And the crowd is very happy about that.
And the crowd is appreciative of letting Childress put it up. Well, I understand. I know they think, why can't you do that all the time? Well, I'll tell you why you can't do that all the time. Having the ball land at the 1-yard line isn't what you want. You either kick it into the end zone or you don't. And when you've got guys back deep, having it land at the 1-yard line is not ideal, because that gives them a lot more room to run and get started at the high school game, and you don't like that anywhere. So Heber Springs back out on offense. They'll hand it off to Nelson. He'll go around the right side, and he'll pick up about 5 as he gets out to the 25-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 5 for Heber Springs. Let's see what they want to do. They had some success running the ball. Let's see if they stick with it.
The Gravette offense has done their part, and now the defense has to do theirs.
I pointed out the discrepancy in total yardage by The offense is, coming into the night. It's been the case tonight, but Heber Springs has got points from their defense. So hand off to Nelson up the middle. He'll fight for about 2 yards over the right side. It'll bring up a big third down. Third down and 3. And, well, if you're the Lions right now, you want to get this stop, get your offense back out onto the field.
Oh, yeah, they're red hot.
Yeah. Get them out there while they're going, and Heber Springs defense is on their heels a little bit. They need a first down here. The Panthers need a first down. There's another handoff to Nelson. He'll get the first down. Close to the 35. He'll be, well, not as close as I thought. I thought he got a little bit close to that. Either way, it's a first down as he picks up about 5 yards. They'll mark it at the 32, and it'll be a 1st and 10 for Heber with that 2-point lead, 35-33.
So where I thought they would really hurt Gravette today was in the passing game, if they would hurt it. But so far it's really been in the run game with Blaze Nelson. And besides that little pop pass out here to, can't remember who that was. I think it was.
I believe it was Hart. Chris Hart, I believe, is who caught that ball.
But besides that, it's been their run game that's gotten yardage. And even in that, they haven't gotten much.
Another handoff to Nelson. Nothing going this time as he'll get bottled up immediately by the Gravette defensive line. I believe it was Spencer and Teichman that teamed up for that tackle. Might have gained a yard.
As you saw, there was a broken tackle. Then Teichman came and cleaned that one up. Gained a yard, which looked like it would have been a loss of a couple, but either way, I'll take that.
You'll take a second long over a second short any day. They're going to pass it. First pass of the half. Oh, and he threw it behind him, and it looked like it was going to be intercepted for just a minute by Ballard. Either way, it's an incomplete pass as it was thrown behind the intended receiver.
You know, you talk about momentum, but I believe another big thing is rhythm. An offense has got to have that rhythm, and it just looks like Heber Springs doesn't have it. You know, earlier in the game, they were completing those with ease. Now, an easy miss like that, 3rd and 9.
Well, 3rd and 9. Complete that. 3rd and 5 is a lot different than 3rd and 9.
Absolutely.
Martin will drop back to pass, and he's wide open now as he was pressured, and he's going to slip out of one tackle. He can't slip away from the other one, and it's going to bring up 4th down. Boy, I thought when he took off with that ball, I thought he was going to be running for a while because it was wide open. Credit the Gravette defense for closing down and making that stop. It's 4th and 2. I have to think with the way that Gravette's offense is moving the ball, Heber Springs will punt this one away. They'll come out in a regular shotgun set. Gravette won't put anyone back. And they're going to go for it with Blaze Nelson. And he's got it. And he breaks the tackle. He gets up close to midfield. There is a penalty marker down. I believe it's going to be probably a face mask and from where they threw that at. It'll probably add 15 yards onto that. Maybe a little bit of a risky play call maybe from Heber there to go for it.
But they got it. And
well, I think maybe what you do is, I said you think you punt it. But I think maybe Heber's over there thinking, as hot as Gravette has been on offense, maybe we take the chance here. Oh,
wow.
My goodness. Well, I thought for sure where that was coming from, it was going to be I thought for sure it would be a face mask, but it's a block in the back, and so instead of a 1st and 10 at midfield, it goes back to a 4th and 4 from the 39, and now I almost think you do have to punt it.
I mean, it looks like they're keeping them out there, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we saw them do this in the first half. They left their offense out on the field, and then did a little, a quick kick, and we'll see what they want to do here. They haven't done anything yet. There's 11 seconds now on the play clock.
Well, they're staying in that normal set there.
And they will go for it. They give it to Nelson, and he gets nothing.
That's Chase
Palmer. He gets bottled up. Chase Palmer. Who else was in there? I'm trying to get I saw Dagley get up off the pile. Chase Palmer. Seth Spencer got up from that pile. Trying to give as many guys credit as I can for on that one because I believe you're right. I believe Chase Palmer was the first one to get in there and make that tackle.
I'll tell you what, I saw Chase Palmer getting pushed back a little bit. He swiped his guy to the right and got it in there and made that tackle. What a play by Chase Palmer. A guy who's I think battling an injury a little bit right now. I know he got hurt a couple games ago, had to come out of the Huntsville game, and has been battling back. A good bounce-back play for him.
Gravette in the shotgun. 2 tight ends, 2 flankers to either side. White will keep it straight ahead. Fighting for yardage, cuts back to the left, and he'll get down inside the 40. We brought down about the 37-yard line, a 3-yard gain.
Let me talk about rhythm earlier. I think Gravette's offense has the rhythm.
Yeah, Gravette has the rhythm, and I think that's why you see Heber Springs go for it on fourth down there, because they know that, and they're trying to keep Gravette's offense off the field any way they can, because, hey, they see Gravette moving the ball, and they think, I don't know if we can stop it. Hand off to O'Brien up the middle, and he's got a big hole. Gets the first down, I think. They'll mark him at about the 29. That will be a first down. Well, I said a big hole. I don't know if it was a huge hole. It was big enough, because O'Brien just needs a little bit of a sliver,
Yep.
and he'll punch his way through.
I tell you what, this 4A1, I got to give credit to most of the running backs in here. There's a lot of good runners in this conference.
I would venture to say that 4A1 probably has the best running backs in the state, 4A, top to bottom.
And if you want to put Duke Falkenberry in that conversation as well.
Here's O'Brien straight ahead. O'Brien to the 24-yard line, a gain of about 6.
And I think you're absolutely right. I mean, I think Heber Springs sidelines is dead right now. They know this game is swinging away from them.
Well, when you had the success that they had early on, 2 kickoff returns, an interception return, and it's 29. The score's 28-13, and then it's 35. Was it 35-13 or 35-19?
It was 28-7 at one point.
Yeah, you're right. That was it, 28-7, and they have all the momentum.
So Austin O'Brien having some equipment issues, but he seems like he's fine.
I formation for Gravette. Come out, hand off to O'Brien, straight up the middle. He tries to cut to the right, loses his footing, and falls. And he gets up a little bit slowly, but I think he's just disappointed with himself more than anything. But that's scary when you see a guy go down without getting touched. That's when you get worried about hurt knees and and ankles and things like that. Those non-contact plays are sometimes some of the most dangerous ones. So.
And a 3rd and 5 here. I don't think we've really seen any 3rd and longs like this for a while. Interesting to see what they're going to do here. I think it's still be a run.
Grimes will shift to the right, and that will cut back to the left. It's White, fakes it to O'Brien, spins away from one tackle, can't spin away from the next one. He's going to be brought down. It's going to be 4th and about 2 from the 22-yard line. Well, this isn't. It's not completely out. It's not completely out of Chris Childress' range, and they're going to go monster set. It looks like. Well,
No, Chris will be coming.
Oh, yeah, Chris is coming out. Okay, I saw Kenton Teigman and Soule come off the sideline, so I thought they were going to go monster. They're going to let Chris Childress take a shot at a 40-yard field goal to give the Lions the lead right here. Well, even if he makes it and Gravette takes the lead here, and it's a big if. It's a 40-yard field goal. The wind has died down, but you got to consider that a win for Heber Springs' defense.
Yeah, absolutely. Great snap.
Kick is up, and it looks like it's got the distance, and he missed it wide right. Oh, man. Had the distance, but just couldn't get it through as he just pushed it right just a little bit. Man, well, Heber Springs gets the stop that they need, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
That's a little bit of a mental shift back to their way. A stop on defense, missed field goal. It gives them some life. They still have the lead, and with the lead, you still don't know what can happen. So.
I say, we talked about this earlier. Hindsight's 20/20. I don't know the way you're running the football 40 yards. That's a long field goal, especially on a night when it's cold and the ball is hard. A little bit of a breeze blowing. I think I'd just gone ahead and just lined up and gone for it there. You've been able to gain 2 yards pretty consistently. Heber Springs, they'll run that pop pass again. They've had success with it, and there's some more broken tackles and. A lot of room over on the right side, and he's running down the sideline. Does he fumble? And I believe Gravette got it.
And they did.
And Gravette gets it. Big play by Heber Springs, and then they fumble the football going down the field. It does look like there's an injured player for Gravette down over on the far sideline.
That's Brandon Ballard.
Yeah, Ballard gets up slowly, and he'll limp off, but now he's gonna jog off. That's good. Might have just had the wind knocked out of him. Big play. I didn't see who got up with the ball.
I was going to talk on the 4th down, and maybe coach was thinking a 4th down stop like that could shift momentum as well. So that's why they kicked it for the safe bet. But just like that, I mean, just like offense right back on the field. So.
Well, we talked about the kickoff returns, the interception. You thought maybe that it's got to swing back in our favor at some point in time, and that play right there might be it. Now you've got a short field. You've got the ball at the 45. You got a 4th down stop before that and couldn't score. Let's see if Gravette can't punch this one in from 45 yards out. as White will fake it to O'Brien, and he'll keep it. He'll dive forward. He'll get across the 40 to the 39, close to it. We've got whistles coming in like there's – normally when they blow the whistle like that, there's a flag on the ground. I don't see a –
Number 43 offense. 10 yards to start a foul. Replay, first down.
Holding
the
on
flag,
number 43.
it's 3 yards in the backfield. That's why I couldn't see it. It was sitting right on where the grass meets the orange in the G there at midfield. I didn't see the flag, but they call it. It's from the spot of the foul, which was 3 yards behind. So essentially, it's a 13-yard penalty.
You know, they called on a Daniel Huntsman, and I'm not going to disagree. I didn't see it, but it seemed like on something like that, there was no need for anyone to hold. He had a lot of room out there.
Little counterplay back to O'Brien. He had a little bit of a crease, but it closed quickly. And what looked like maybe a promising play at first is cut down, and it's 2nd and about 21 now. Gain of 3.
We're talking about teams that can't, or we want to talk about Gravette can't be behind the chains. They're 11 yards behind it.
Way behind it right now, for sure. Well, we'll see what they want to do here. Coach Harrelson will see if he wants to give it to O'Brien. Well, after all of those fireworks we had in the second quarter there, we've had a lower scoring third quarter here, but it was that second quarter, like I said. The first quarter wasn't.
Looks like this will be a throw.
O'Brien will roll out to the left, and he'll try to throw it to O'Brien. O'Brien
Catch.
goes up and makes a catch with one hand, but it's only a gain of about 5. It'll be 3rd and 16. We'll see what Gravette wants to do here. I believe that was actually an RPO, or run pass option there. White rolling out to his left, and he kind of had the option of cutting it upfield or throwing it out to O'Brien. And he chose to throw it out to O'Brien. You know, It's not what you want. You know, I mean, it's not a 20-yard gain, but it's positive, and you get back to within. You know, 3rd and 16 is better than 3rd and 20.
I wouldn't be surprised if they go conservative right here on a run. And they won't, though.
They're going to throw it. Looks like they might be trying to set up a screen. They do, and it's Brady Mormon, and he's got room down the left side. He'll lower his shoulder. He's going to get short of the first down, but he picks up about 15 yards, and it'll bring up 4th and 1.
I don't think there's no doubt they're going to go for this.
Yeah, it looks like, and Coach Harrelson's already made the decision. He's bringing out his monster set. There looks like there is an injured player on the field, though, for Heber Springs.
I think that's Brady Mormon.
No, it is Brady. He's over there on the sideline, and I saw Heber Springs coaches around him. Well, he's been fighting an injury this year, so, you know, and he is up walking off on his own power, so that's good to see. Certainly somebody that they can't afford to lose if you're Gravette.
Oh, yeah, and that monster set is in there, and you know what they're going to do.
Yep, 4th and 1. We'll take this time to bring you another sponsor. Sophie's Boutique, located on Main Street in Gravette, is proud to be a part of the Lion Letterman and GHSTV broadcast. Sophie's offers a unique shopping experience in downtown and carries apparel, accessories, candles, and scents, and much more. Stop by the store at 115 Main Street Southeast or call 344-6080 for information regarding hours of operation. Well, it's 4th and 1. Gravette's got their monster set. They know what they're doing. They're going to run a sweep out to O'Brien. He needs to break a tackle. He does. He's across 35, across the 30. Lowers his shoulder and gets up to the 25-yard line. It looks like they'll spot it. It's a first down, a gain of about 11.
And I'll tell you what, for a second, my heart was, I saw that player coming. I'm like, okay.
For a minute, it didn't look like he was going to get it, but certainly.
Austin O'Brien. That was Austin O'Brien.
Stiff arm with the left hand and is able to turn the corner. And, as soon as I saw him, I knew if he could get around that guy with that stiff arm, you knew he was going to. You knew he was going to get the first down. He just needed a yard. So, I formation, twins to the left side. Handoff to O'Brien of the left side. He's got a little bit of a crease and he falls. Well, they still haven't. They hadn't blown the whistle, although O'Brien picks up about 4 yards. They hadn't blown the whistle because O'Brien was on top of a Heber Springs player, so he technically wasn't down, but his momentum was certainly stopped, and he wasn't trying to push forward anymore. And a Heber Springs player was trying to rip the ball out, and a Gravette lineman came and cleaned him up. So that was what maybe some of the O's you heard were, as O'Brien goes straight ahead to the right side, gains 2 yards.
So there's a stat I want to bring up, but to make sure first, I think he has over 48 rushing yards. I would say easily, right?
Yes, yeah, I would say so.
If he has 48 rushing yards, I think he absolutely does. He has crossed the 2,000 yards rushing mark. in 11 games. That is outstanding.
That is an impressive stat for sure. As O'Brien will take the sweep, and he'll get down inside the 15. I believe you're right. I believe he will have the first down. They'll stop the clock, and they'll move the chains. 27 seconds to play, third quarter, as Gravette has another first down. 27 seconds to play, 27 seconds even. 35-33. Heber Springs still leaves. And just now, I almost caught myself and almost said Pocahontas instead of Heber Springs.
I caught myself saying Pocahontas.
That one would have made more sense because
yes.
they're the same color and they do look similar in terms of their uniform.
They do.
It's style of play. So O'Brien again. Now he'll cut back to the left. He's at the 5, and he'll be brought down at the 2-yard line. It will be another first down, though. It'll be first and goal from the 2. There's 6 seconds to play here in the third quarter. We'll see if Gravette wants to get off another play. It looks like Coach Harrelson will take this through the fourth quarter as he's walking back towards the other end of the field.
I believe that's a good decision. I mean, you have the ball right there at the 3-yard line. Might as well take time off as well.
Yeah, that's actually going to mark it at the 1-yard line, so it'll be first and goal from the 1. And first and goal from the 1. We've reached the end of the third quarter. Gravette, the only team to score in that third quarter. The first time they had the ball out of halftime. 35-33 your score. Heber Springs lead. Grand Savings Bank is Extreme Banking and asks.
So let's talk about offensive points. Oh, I'll let you do your.
No, my phone, I was getting ready to start reading, and my phone decided it was going to, and there it goes again. I'm trying to read these off my phone. I know I've said that a bunch of times, but our sheet wasn't up here tonight. Grand Savings Bank is Extreme Banking and ask, have you downloaded our new and improved mobile banking app? It's available now on iPhone and Android. Includes new features like voice prompt commands and multiple login options. Stop by any of our locations or call us for more information. Grand Savings Bank, member FDIC, has a location coming soon to Gravette. All right, sorry, John, what were you going to say there?
Okay, so I know you can't take away the points. Take away the points that they didn't score on offense. Since the first quarter, it has been Gravette 33, Heber Springs nothing. Offensive points. That tells you how much those other touchdowns counted. I mean, how much this mattered.
You've got a 2-point lead with those. Yeah, but yeah, you're looking at a 33-14 game right now.
Absolutely.
Gravette threatening to punch it in again and put this one away.
Arguably worse than that if they don't get those kickoff returns. Arguably, Gravette scores more. I mean,
yeah, like I said, yeah, if you don't put that away, you're looking at a 33-14 game. Gravette getting ready to punch it in again and really go lights out in this one. As it is, it's a 2-point game right now. Heber Springs leads. First and goal from the 1. Gravette's got that monster package in. I don't think there's any doubt what they're going to do. They'll hand it off.
Didn't get it
to O'Brien.
He did get it.
Does dive into the right side. I was with you. I didn't think he was going to get it, but he dove into the right line. He got hit in the backfield, but kept his legs moving, was able to run in. And 1 second into the fourth quarter, the Gravette Lions have their first lead of the game, 39-35.
So you've been going for it all night for 2-point conversion. Do you still do it, or? I think with the lead, I think you should kick it.
I think you go for it here for one reason. It gives you a 6-point lead. And that means they have to score a touchdown and still kick the extra point. And even when you've got a kicker as good as Gravette does in Chris Childress, and he's missed an extra point tonight, and that's why the score is what it is. Throw into the end zone real quick is incomplete, so the 2-point conversion will be no good. I believe they were looking for Grimes again on a slant pattern. That time it was knocked away. So, but we're 11:59 to play in the game. Gravette has their first lead of the night, 39-35.
And I would like to say on the last play, from here, I know Tajay cannot see that as well. Well, we can, but Colton Grimes is wide open in the back of the end zone. But again, it's probably one of them design plays. He just thinks where he's gonna be, and he wasn't there.
Yeah,
but
I think
anyway,
he was trying to throw to Grimes, just a little bit of traffic there.
Because there was no one else there. So, but 39-35, and Gravette has momentum. There's no question about it. But we've seen we thought Gravette was getting it back, and then a kickoff return for a touchdown or a pick six or something. So, right here, Chris, I think, just needs to kick it through the end zone once again.
Yep.
And you're right though. If he doesn't get to the end zone, that could cause trouble, which is why you don't want to do that sometimes. Because say if he doesn't hit it right and he goes to the 10-yard line, they can still do what they see, and this is what I'm talking about. They're bringing their guys way back.
And
but now
Childress is kicking with a little bit of a win this time, although it's died down now. The flag is barely moving out there in the north end zone. But
now I think there's a little bit of cushion where he can just drop it in there and ground it a little bit so they have time to get there. But I don't know. But I still think he kicks deep here. I think he should. And he will.
He kicks it deep. It's low and deep. It's taken. It's doing its drop. It's dropped. And he's still going to get to the outside. He'll breaks and tackle across the 20 to the 25. My goodness, man. If there's one thing you can say, these guys for Heber Springs run tough. They don't go down easy. So.
Yeah, they're tough runners for sure, and shows right there. He's looks like he was hit around the 15.
Yeah.
Just kept going.
Yeah. Well, I think they were going to try to maybe actually run the reverse that time. They've set it up now by faking it, so now they can run it and it maybe be there.
Yeah.
And I think they were going to do it. I think it was, but I think they were going to do it there had he not dropped the kick. Pass is batted up in the air, straight up, and it's going to come down and it's going to hit the ground incomplete. Well, it was batted up. I believe it was batted up by. I believe that was Spencer that got his hands up. It was either Spencer or Teichman.
And you see plays like that, and you just when the ball's up in the air, you're just praying for something to happen. But
well, the one thing that you don't want it to happen is it go down the field a little ways and the receiver catches it. But when it goes straight up like that, it's anybody's ball, and you hope to get it right there. Now that's Martin will get the snap, and he'll be swallowed up immediately. Well, that was a designed quarterback run all the way. It was going to be a quarterback power, and he got the ball and just couldn't do anything with it. Gravette defensive line was back there immediately. It's 3rd and 13 now. This is a almost definite passing situation here if you're Heber Springs, and we'll see what they do. If they gain some yards, they've been a little bit slow to punt it. They've only punted it once tonight. And it was a regular formation they punted out of. Went for it last time on 4th and 4, deep in their own territory. Martin will drop back to pass. He's looking. He's under pressure, and he's going to be dropped again. A sack by the Gravette defense. Let's see who it is getting up off the pile.
Looks like Bailey.
It's Bailey Soule. Soule, I should have guessed, I guess, coming off of that right end, and that'll bring up 4th and 20, and they've got to punt it, right?
They do. I mean,
you can't go for it.
And
yeah, they will. They will line up, and they've got just a regular, but they can't. Now he'll scoot back and he'll quick kick it, and it's nearly blocked again. A better kick this
Very
time.
Good punt, actually.
Mormon gets it at the 46. He breaks one tackle, breaks two tackles, spins away at midfield. He's being held up, and he's finally brought down by Bremen, and it was Bremen and Spivey that came in and made the tackle. Spivey had him wrapped up. Bremen finished it off. A good return of 7 yards. Mormon was a little bit shifty, made 2 guys miss before being tackled. You always, anytime, if you can gain 1 yard on a punt return, that's a positive return. It's actually about an 8-yard return, so even better than I was giving him credit for.
And kudos to that punt. That was a very good punt.
Yeah.
I mean, it went about 40 yards, but the ball going up in the air that long set up the coverage to get out there. So I thought that was an extremely good punt.
Much better punt than the last time he punted. But Gravette will start the ball with the ball inside Heber Springs territory. Let's see what they do. Hand off to O'Brien. Or I'm sorry, White keeps it. Nowhere to go though, as he's going to be brought down by a Heber Springs defender who was not fooled. I couldn't trying to catch his number. I saw 5. Is it?
That seems about like the.
Is it just number 5? Yeah, Landon Johnson made that tackle.
I believe it was 75.
Maybe 75. Well, it was either Landon Johnson or Christian Wilson. We'll see. He was a defensive lineman, so probably. Either way, they're both sophomores, so.
Looks like Heber player jumped outside, but he got right back, so will not be called.
Hand off to O'Brien, straight up the middle, and he'll get back to the original line of scrimmage, maybe, actually, even a yard short. It's going to be 3rd and 11.
And you wonder if things are going like this. Do you continue to be conservative, just run the ball with the lead, or do you risk a pass and risk something terrible happening?
You know what? If it's me right here, I think I'm gonna call it a run or a really safe pass and see what you can get. If you gain 7-8 yards, then you consider going for it. But if not, if you don't gain anything or you only gain 2 or 3, punt it and pin them deep, keep them back. You've got the field in your favor right now. O'Brien will go out in motion to the left. White will roll that way. He's looking. He's got a man wide open.
And it's knocked away. Oh, man. Is that Cravens that was open running down the field? Yeah, that was Derek Cravens.
I'll tell you what, that was a very good play defensively, but that ball was lofted too lightly.
Yeah, Cravens definitely was open, and if White throws it just 2 yards further or even a yard further, you're looking at a really a huge play for Gravette, maybe even a touchdown.
The fact that the ball floated is what gave the opportunity for it to be batted down. So.
Yeah, it was credit their defender. Good play, made a break on the ball and got a paw on it and swatted away. I didn't catch his number. I'd give him credit, but low punt. It's going to bounce and it's going to be fielded, and he's going to break a tackle, breaks 2 tackles, and he's got room on the around the outside. And he's got blockers in front, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds by Chris Childress, the punter.
I'll tell you what.
Inside the 30.
They got to stop giving the ball to that guy.
Right, 36-yard line. Man.
Seems like every time he's touched the ball, he's made a big play.
If not for special teams, you could say it's been the difference in the game tonight.
It has been.
Two missed field goals by Gravette, a missed extra point, 2 kickoff returns for a touchdown. And now you see there, a punt return, almost returned for a touchdown when you would have had him pinned deep. He fielded that from his own 12-yard line.
I think right there you got to punt it out.
That's Nelson. Blaze Nelson tries to carry it to the left side. He's got no room as a host of Lions is there to stop him. Berger, Grimes.
You got to think of ways.
Berger, Grimes, and Teichman were there for that tackle.
You got to think about how the second half's going. You think no matter what, this is probably 4th down territory right now.
Oh, yeah. I think, they went for it earlier on 4th down from their own 35, so they're definitely going to go for it now.
And I think they're going to start throwing the ball around here soon. That's their bread and butter. I think they're going to go to it. Here it is.
2nd 10. Now here's Martin. He's going to drop back to pass. Running out of room. He almost gets sacked. He doesn't have a lot of room over there, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds by Dagley.
Good pursuit there by Mason Dagley. Looked like he had some room there. Mason Dagley came over, closed the room there, pushed him out for about a 3-yard gain.
He did what he had to do. He didn't commit to trying to make a tackle too early. He used the sideline. That's what you want to do. You give up a couple of extra yards whenever you do that, but I'll take 2 yards more as opposed to 20 yards more.
And we said it earlier, every time he drops back, seems like pressure gets there quickly. It's just, he's a really talented player. He gets out there and he's elusive.
Yeah, he's an impressive player for a sophomore, for sure.
He's not playing like a sophomore.
No, Heber Springs has 4 seconds on the play clock. We'll see if they get it off. They do. Martin dropped back to pass. He's under pressure immediately, and he's going to be dropped. There is a penalty flag down. They're not going to have the play. They're going to say the play was never got the play off. So it's going to be a false start. Well, it's a good result if you're Gravette. You'd rather have that sack. But
and kudos to Dakota Lemons. He got that sack. I hope they put that on the stat sheet for him.
Please reset the clock to 7:55.
Man, that is a break for Heber Springs.
Yeah, it is for sure. Yeah, you're right. Lemons was on a jailbreak right up the middle, and
everyone was.
Yeah, was going to have that. He had that play swallowed up.
It's like they meant not to block.
Yeah, at the 45, almost like it was going to be a screen pass, and they just got there so fast.
I tell you what, they only lost a couple yards on that too.
Yeah,
5 yards.
Yeah, so. You lose 5 yards instead of 15. You'll take that. Martin, he'll throw a little bubble pass over. That's Bremen. Bremen will be stood up. He'll be short of the line to gain.
I thought I saw a flag fly somewhere.
He's on the 33-yard line.
Okay.
There is a penalty down. Normally. So it'll be 4th and 7. Be 4th and 7. I don't see what the penalty is. They are talking to Gravette, so we'll see if they see what Gravette wants to do. I guess it depends on what it is here. Is it
you think if it was a
if it's a hold, I would think you would take
accept it.
Yeah, I would take the hold because that's 10 yards. Oh, it's an illegal shift. And they're going to go ahead and take it. So an illegal shift, they'll go ahead and take it, and it'll push it back to 3rd and 18.
So, again, something that actually could help Heber Springs here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I get it. You want to force 3rd and 18, 4th down. The downside to this is, and there's pros and cons, it's 3rd and 18. That's good. The downside to that is, though, is you're giving them 2 shots. Yep. You only had to make 1 more stop. Now you've got to make a stop on, 2 consecutive plays. Martin will roll out to his left, and he'll throw it deep, and he's got a man open, and it's
very
complete,
close to the marker.
And he'll be about 2 yards shy of the 1st down, I believe. out at the 29. So, you know, it's
instead of a 4th and 7, it's a 4th and 2.
4th and 2. But, you know, you still got to make that. You still got to make that stop. It's 4th and 2. It might be. I'll stick with 4th and 2. It might be 4th and 3. We'll stick with 4th and 2 up here.
It may be a long 2.
They'll hand it to Nelson. He's got the first down inside the 25. He'll be brought down at the 24-yard line.
And I was about to say this is really the only time they moved the football, but really they haven't. The only play was a big punt return, and besides that, I think that might be maybe their only first down, maybe second of the drive. So it's that punt. The special teams have really got them in this ball game. Another pass.
Martin will pass it out to on the flats, and it's actually
very good catch.
Caught. Nice catch.
And he's going to be good enough for a first down, I believe.
I believe that was Rocky. I thought that was number 11. I can't. My eyes.
I believe it was.
Yeah, no, it's 11. Finney. Rocky Finney made that catch.
I'd be shocked here.
8 yards.
I'd be shocked here if Heber Springs doesn't keep passing the football.
Well, there's another handoff to Nelson, and he's going to be swallowed up by the Gravette defensive line. No gain. Blaze Nelson.
And Brady Mormon again on the field.
Down on the field again.
Nelson on the carry. No gain.
Mormon's down. You know, he missed a game this year, right? I believe that was. You know, he missed a game this year. Got back in time for senior night against Shiloh Christian, and I would imagine this is probably one of those. It's just a nagging injury from that.
Yeah, I mean, and it would suck to lose him right now. This is not the time you want to lose him in the playoffs.
No, you definitely. Well, he gets up slow. He's walking under his own power. I think this might be a nagging injury for him. He certainly doesn't want to come off the field. You know, he's a senior. He's got to come off for at least one play. You know, when you've got a 4, and he's really played a well of a game offensively. He's made some nice catches and a couple of nice punt returns.
And that's going to bring in Derek Cravens to fill in his spot, a guy I trust out there. He picked off Pete Ridge's quarterback earlier in the season.
It'll be 3rd and 2. They'll hand it off to Nelson again, and he'll be bottled up, and he's going to keep fighting, and he's going to be close to that first down. Well, it looked like they had him in the backfield, and they're going to blow it dead at the 15. It's going to be 4th and short. They're going to mark it just across the 15. It might be a first down. They're going to measure.
An official timeout.
Yeah, they mark it just across the 15-yard line. He needed to get just across the 15-yard line. I know they're short last time. I'm at an angle, but I think he probably has the first down here. They'll stretch out the chains, and he does have it. But it looks like the no.
I think he just has it.
Yep. Has it just by the nose of the football.
Man, and Heber Springs once again converts on a short third down. Or not only are they moving the ball, but they're taking a lot of time off the clock.
Yeah, well, you do this though. If you're gonna do a drive like this and take that much time, you've still got to score.
Yes.
They haven't done that yet. There's Nelson around the right side. He's got some blockers in front. He's at the 10. He's at the 5. He'll be out of bounds at the 4.
And that'll be a first down.
It will be a first down. It'll be a first and goal at about the 3.5 with 5:49 to play.
Nelson carries it inside the 5-yard line. It's first down and goal.
And here comes. They're going under center. Wouldn't be surprised to do a quarterback sneak right here.
It's going to be a quarterback sneak, and that's what they'll do. Martin will just push forward, and they'll probably just do that about 2 more times to see if they can't get in the end. They got 4. They got 4 tries to get it in from the 3. That's what they're probably going to try to do.
That's like their only inside run package or inside goal line package. So. Looks like maybe they'll try to do something different here, though. And I think that, yes, they are.
They'll go back to their base shotgun set that they've been in most of the night, and they'll hand it to Nelson, and he's met immediately, and he breaks away. God.
Kenton Teichman and Gunnar Berger Met him in the backfield.
Wrapped up in the backfield, and he spun away and runs into the end zone. And Heber Springs goes back up 41-39 now, as it looks like they are Brady Mormon looks like he's on his way up to the locker room on the Gator. Looks like they are carting him up to get a closer look at his leg, I believe, is what has been bothering him. Here's the extra point. It will go up, and it will be good.
So, a
Heber
3-point ball
Springs
game.
will take a 3-point lead, 42-39, with 5:10 to play in the game. Tough Coat in Bentonville has been a sponsor of Lion Letterman for 3 football seasons. Tough Coat specializes in bullet spray and bed liners and custom tumblers. Seth, the owner of Lion Letterman, owns several great Yeti products purchased at Tough Coat, as well as the bullet spray and liner of his Silverado pickup truck. Give Jeff a call at Tough Coat. Tough Coat, 479-715-6039, or visit them on the web at toughcoatbentonville.com. 5:10 to play. Fourth quarter, Heber Springs 42-39. They just got their first points of the second half, and they did it off of a big punt return, and then, methodically they picked up the rest of, with their offense, about 35 yards, all they had to go. So you look at that. If you make the tackle probably down there, even though they might still have the ball right now, they've only got the ball at the 45-yard line.
Yeah.
If they go 35 yards there, so
Yep.
And Gravette still has a 4-point lead. But good news, if there is good news from that, there's still 5 minutes and 10
Yes.
seconds left on the clock. Plenty of time for
And we've
Gravette.
seen Gravette can score very quickly.
Yep, and they don't have to score quick. They can take a little bit of time off the clock. We'll see. Heber Springs will kick this one off. It's a low kick. It will hit at the 10.
Awesome.
O'Brien will pick it up at the 9, and he'll cut it back up the middle. He won't be able to break away from tackles this time, and he'll be brought down at about the 21-yard line.
20-yard line. Gravette takes over first down and 10.
They'll put it pretty much right across the 20.
But, with this time left, they don't have to go away from their game plan at all.
No, 5:04. That's plenty of time. You can keep running the ball. Now, there does need to be a little bit of a sense of urgency
Yes.
on some of these, but you're right. There's no need to get in too much of a hurry and do things that you're not comfortable with.
And, if they're going to take a long drive, they better score on it.
I wouldn't be surprised. Coach Harrelson's been known to kind of pull out some trick plays this year. You might see one right here, though. You won't see it right here, as White will just take the snap and follow his blockers to the right side, and he'll pick up 2. So it'll be 2nd and 8.
White on the carry again of a couple at 2nd down
And
and 8.
I think I see Brady Mormon on the bench over there. So maybe
Maybe you do. I just saw the cart going up, and after he walked up, I jumped to conclusions. But typically when you see the cart leaving the field in the middle of the game, it looked like there was somebody sitting in the passenger seat. But maybe trainer just going up to get some supplies, perhaps. Hand off to O'Brien. He's got to the left side. He's across the 25. He needs to break one tackle. He can't spin away from it. As Finney made that tackle on the outside, if Finney doesn't make that tackle, O'Brien's probably running to the end zone. As it is, though, it'll be 3rd and short. It'll be 3rd and less than a yard. Gravette needs to get to the 30, and it is just across the 29-yard line. 4 minutes, 3 seconds to play, and the clock
the monster
is
package will come in.
ticking. Monster package in the game. Hand off to O'Brien as he'll follow
First
them,
down.
and he's across the 30.
That's
Didn't
all
get
they
much.
needed.
Didn't get much. Didn't need much. He needed half a yard. He gained 1.
It's enough for a first down.
I'm checking some scores here. Gosnell on top of Malvern right now, 61-17.
Wow.
So Lions can come back to win this one. Looks like they'll be making a trip to Gosnell. That's a long drive. They'll sweep this one out to O'Brien. He picks up a block on the corner. He's rather good. He's across the 40, 45. He'll be trugged down from behind after a gain of about 17. He'll be out to the 47-yard line. Well, the Heber defender actually read the end, and he was able to get kicked out by one of those blockers. And when it first ran it, I didn't think it was going anywhere.
I didn't either.
Another score to report. Stuttgart leads Shiloh Christian 28-7 in the 3rd quarter. Fake sweep this time. White will keep it up the left. And he'll get close to midfield.
Close to midfield. It's second down.
He'll be brought down at about the 49-yard line. It'll be
second about 7 or 8.
Second 7.
And Gravette is taking their time, so I bet their motto right now is we either score or go home.
Yep. Prairie Grove leads Pottsville 49-21. That one's in the fourth quarter. Pea Ridge has gone final over Waldron 40-0. O'Brien, not much room. He will get a yard.
Around the carry to midfield. It's third down for Gravette.
Time clicking.
Gentry game is a final. They lose to Batesville Southside 42-13. 2.5 minutes. It's third down and 7. Clock is running. Shotgun formation for White. He'll hand it off to O'Brien. O'Brien will want some bounce out to outside. Breaks the tackle. 45. Breaks another tackle. 40. 35. 30. 20.
50. 10. 5.
Touchdown. Give him 6.
I think we can high five. We can high five. We can high five.
Austin O'Brien around the corner for a 50-yard gain, and with 2:13 to play, Gravette goes back on top, 45-42.
Do not kick it to Brennan. Do not kick it to them, please. That is a human reaction.
I would almost think you just go ahead and kick it out of bounds.
Oh, I take that. I mean, if it took them that long to go 30-something yards.
Timeout. Gravette. The first foul of the second half.
And we got a little excited and pulled the sound system off the table, but it's okay. It's fine.
Hopefully you can still hear us, or maybe in your case, depending on who you are, maybe you don't want to hear us.
I mean, we just screamed a lot, so you might not.
I'm tired of listening to these guys.
Yeah. You know what? That was a human reaction. That high five, I needed it.
45-42. Gravette leads again. 2:13 to play. Fourth quarter. They are gonna go for 2, I would think.
I saw that.
I'm thinking about it here, and I almost think you go ahead and kick it. Because they've got a good field goal kicker that gives you a 4, and they can't tie it.
They do, yeah.
If you kick the extra point.
And if they do score.
And it looks like they are going to kick it. And I think you saw them over here. They are going to kick it. And I saw, Mormon and.
Actually, I don't think they are.
Yeah, Childress is going out there. So, and it's not actually.
They are. But
is Mormon? Yeah, Mormon is out there.
Is he?
No,
he's not.
That is not Mormon. That's Tajay White. That's what they were doing. Yeah, they took a timeout to take some practice snaps and some practice holds. So, high snap, good hold. White got the snap down, put it down on the tee, and Chris Childress pushed it through. 46-42, 2:13 to play. Whew, my goodness. Well, no matter what happens in this one.
What a game.
I'm gonna need some medicine probably when I get home. Either way, give me a Tylenol, give me something. I don't know.
My head hurts.
Right. My head hurts. I probably need some Bayer aspirin. That's probably really what I need. And my heart has stopped, I think, 4 or 5 times tonight. Man,
I saw that Austin coming around, and I said, okay, he's about to get hit for tackle for loss. And Austin does Austin.
It certainly didn't look like he was gonna go very far, for sure. I thought, man, it's gonna be. I hate to say it before the play was ever over, but in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, it's gonna be 4th down. What do you do? And I started going through all the possibilities in my head. It's 4th down. It'll be 4th and it's gonna be 4th and about 3. Do you stick with the ground? Because I mean that would have been the game. That would have been the game. So, well, here's.
Man, this is tough. I think this is a very tough decision for Coach. What do you do here?
I almost the way they've got all that big cushion right there. I would sky kick this, see if it'll land at about the 25-20-yard line on the sideline on the numbers, and make them
have to drive the
make
field.
them decide what they want to do with it, and we'll see what he does. He kicks it deep. It's not going to get to the end zone. It's going to be taken at the 10-yard line. And he's going to be, oh my goodness, he breaks away again. And he's going to score. My God.
a third kickoff return for a touchdown. A third kickoff return for a touchdown.
All you got to do is get the guy down.
Bremen, man, I don't know if I'm. Oh man, if I'm I don't know, win or lose tonight. If I'm Heber Springs coach, I'm buying that man a steak on the way home.
Yeah,
I'm making a pit stop and I'm buying him a steak. Well, big extra point here. He pushes it through and it's 49. No, he missed it.
Oh.
No, okay,
yeah.
He did get through. Okay, I thought I saw
46.
I thought I saw the ref on the far side's hands go up, but then I saw the ref on our side look like he was shaking his head no.
I'll tell you what,
and I think he was doing just what we did. He was shaking his head like, man, can you believe this? Goodness, 49-46, minute 57
It'd be better just kicking
play.
it out.
Yeah. Well, and again, you got him wrapped up again. You got him wrapped up at the 20-yard line.
And honestly, returning to the end zone might have saved Gravette a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
if you would have got that out to the 2-yard line, they could have ran that clock down.
Yeah, you run the clock down. You maybe even for sure. Well,
it's frustrating.
It'll be back on the shoulders of Gravette's offense, and Tajay White will go back out onto the field.
Most likely, it will take over 50 points to win this game.
Problem is now, it will take over 50 to win. So the problem is you used the timeout earlier to get your snaps down, which was big. I mean, that's critical. Well, it's the 2-minute offense now, and one thing about Coach Charleston, he practices that every day. And here's a sky kick, and it's going to go out of bounds at the 42-yard line.
And that's where Gravette will get it.
Yep. Gravette will get the ball at the 42. And another good thing about that is the good news with that is, besides getting the ball at the 43-yard line, it looks like, no clock ran off. No time ran off the clock.
Absolutely.
So you've got great field position and no time ran off the clock. So now you don't necessarily have to start throwing the ball over the place.
No,
You've got 2 timeouts.
And you saw him earlier with a minute left. They went down and scored, running the ball.
You can kind of stick with the same game plan that you've had all night. You don't have to change anything crazy here. Man, can you imagine, and I don't want to get ahead of myself here, but let's assume that Gravette gets down the field, doesn't score a touchdown. Chris Childress puts a field goal through to tie it up. Could you imagine an overtime game with the ball at the 10-yard line with these two?
I don't think this game would ever end.
The way these two teams are running the ball right now. Oh, it would be crazy. Well, here we go. Trips to the left. White in the shotgun. He will hand it to O'Brien, and O'Brien's got room. O'Brien across midfield. He'll be taken down at the 48-yard line. It's a gain of 9. Clock is still running.
Since there's a possibility, where would be, you think, for sure, Chris Childress field goal range? We sent him miss a couple, but
clock is still running. Fans are angry. They want Gravette to go faster.
And they ran about 20 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, you did lose a lot of time there, but
they're not trying to rush anything here.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're okay right now. Stay with what you've done. Now the clock's going to stop. O'Brien breaks the tackle and is down inside the 40, down to the 42-yard line. Now the clock stops. Now the clock stops. It'll start when they reset the change. 1:17 to play. It'll start. Now it starts. 1:14 clock running. They've got the play, and they're set up. Trips to the right. O'Brien. They will send Grimes in motion. O'Brien or White pulls it from O'Brien, and he'll be down to the 40. And now there's less than a minute left. Less than a minute left, and Gravette will take a timeout. Well, uncharacteristically there, I'm going to say they let a little bit of that's uncharacteristic. That's uncharacteristic for Coach Harrelson. Normally, he's very cognizant of the clock, and he didn't get in a hurry there. And it's almost like we're playing for a field goal. But
I mean, if we went into overtime, I don't know when this game would end.
But my thing is, I don't. I mean, as good as a kicker as Chris Childress is, and
he's
don't
missed
wrong,
an extra
yeah,
point.
he's missed an extra point, and he's missed 2 field goals tonight. You know, how is this confidence? And Chris is one of those kids that probably can bounce back from it. But he's a 17-year-old kid, and you're going to ask him. You're asking him to do
right
an awful
now,
lot.
I still think you need a pretty big play to even get in that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, you're not even close to field goal range yet. You still need 20 yards, at least. Yeah, you still need at least 20 yards. Gravette will huddle. That's something they haven't done much this year. But coming out of the timeout,
do they have to pass it?
They can do that. White, low snap. It's going to be a run with White, and he'll get down, and he only gained about 2 yards.
They'll have to call a timeout here, or clock it, or something.
It's 3rd down. You don't want to clock it because it'll be 4th down.
What is Coach Harrelson doing here?
A lot of time running off the clock.
And I believe the player called it. The players called the timeout.
Well, no, I believe we got it. We got an official timeout for an equipment. Yeah. They call an equipment timeout here.
The time's still running here.
So clock is running. 25 seconds. My goodness, 25 seconds on the clock. Wyatt will drop back to throw. It's a screen pass, and it's knocked down.
And it was there.
Oh, man, it was there. 19 seconds to play now. Oh, man. 20 seconds, really. 19.9.
And what do you do here? I mean, without special teams plays, Gravette has his way in the bag.
I hate to question. I mean, I hate to question what's Coach Charleston's doing, but you do right now. Wasted a lot of time on this drive.
And what do you?
You've wasted nearly 30 seconds on this drive here. Oh man, 4th down. This is it. This is the season. White will get the snap. He'll drop back to pass. He's looking. He's looking. He's going to throw it deep to Cravens. And did he catch it?
Picked off.
No, it's intercepted. It was intercepted. That will do it. There's a flag down. It's going to be for an unnecessary roughness, but it won't matter.
And that's the game for Gravette.
It won't matter as it's intercepted. Well, and I thought
it was pass interference.
Yeah, it looked like it could have been. It could have been pass interference. Could have been called, but
questionable play call as well. Very questionable. If you're going to throw it up to someone like that, you think it maybe be Chris, but Derek Cravens, who hasn't had done much on offense this year.
Well, you throw it into double coverage too, and you're right. It did look like pass interference, but I think the officials. Normally, I'd be unhappy. I would say, hey, throw that flag. If I was a coach, if I was coaching for Gravette, I would be mad. I'd be wanting that pass interference call. But at the same time, I agree with the officials from this vantage point. Let him play. Let him make a play on the call. It wasn't egregious. He didn't wipe up and tackle him. And I think he was maybe trying to make a play on the ball. He just made a little bit of early contact. So
still think very questionable play
Heber
call.
Springs will take a timeout.
And
my guess would be to make sure they've got everybody on the field. 8.5 seconds. Up by 3. My guess would be make sure you get the snap and make sure you get the, make sure you get the snap and know what you're doing.
Yep.
Gravette does have a timeout left.
But at this point, I don't know if that really matters.
Yeah, the only thing that it does is, it is still high school football. A lot of things can happen, but. You could fumble that snap or something. I've seen crazier things that happen in this situation, and I've seen teams that normally go shotgun, they go under center, and they bad snap.
This is the victory formation.
Yeah, they're going to take a knee and try to get us Gravette. Will not even get down into the stance, and they won't take a timeout. Heber Springs has came up the hill to Northwest Arkansas, and they will walk away with a 49-46 victory in a wild one. was it 4 touchdowns by kickoff?
3
Three.
kickoff returns, 1 pick six.
3 a pick six and a punt return that set up the game-winning touchdown, essentially. Well, it's been an exciting year. It didn't end the way that we wanted it to, but it is what it is tonight, folks. And we want to thank all of our sponsors here that have been with us all year long. Arvest Bank and Gravette, Teasley Drug, H&K Heating and Air, Kim Durham Photography, Builtwell Construction, the Booster Club, Bank of Gravette, Sophie's Boutique, James Scantlin Realtor with Caldwell Banker Harris, McCaney and Fawcett, Grand Savings Bank, Briley's Bouquets, Greenheart Realty, Patton Electric, Hart and Soule Builders, Tough Coat, Alumni Storage. Lion Letterman would like to thank each sponsor and wants you to do the